He's on the '90s Flash show. He was on Doogie Howser.
Um, Not Cole's dad. The Helsky.
So before we get into tonight's very special Spoilercast PTC Movie Club event, I figured this is worth mentioning since shares a similar person in some regard. I finally finished 12 minutes. I know Mike has finished 12 minutes. I don't know if Todd's finally rolled credits on 12 minutes. I can't remember. I don't know.
I'm probably not going to finish it.
I don't know if Dom has started it, but to keep it very spoiler free. I was not a fan of this game in any way. Like it was, I like some of the mechanics. Like I think if this game was a little bit more polished gameplay wise, I think I'd probably like it more. Because I do like the mechanics. I know you and Mike had talked about it on a recent episode, your early impressions, but now that I've been able to play it and then finish it,
the repetitiveness of it is just what is pushing me away from it, though. Like, and I get what they're doing, but it could have been implemented better.
I think there could have been some tweaks that would have made it a little bit better. The problem becomes like the game by design is a game about repetition in a lot of ways. So like, I feel like it's kind of just there isn't much that they could have done to maybe change it up. I know some people have some issues with the story at its core, or at least towards the end. But yeah, we'll keep it at that. I don't want to get too much in that. I don't know. Willem Dafoe's in that. He's in John Wick. We're gonna talk about John Wick, so I figured throw that out there.
And just one thing. Game of the year, fucking Psychonauts 2. I'm pretty far in this game right now. Like, I find it very hard to believe that this won't be in my game of the year.
It's funny.
That game is incredible.
It's funny.
Where I am right now, too, is just like the best thing I've ever. It's like I'm having so much fun with it right now.
It's funny that you brought that up because I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit in. I'm a couple hours in, and I'm loving it. I told Mike yesterday that he should definitely download it because it's on Game Pass. Because I also think this is a game that Mike would actually really enjoy. And
don't skip the story either, because I'm the kind of guy that I was gonna skip the story.
No, the story in this game is so good.
It's so good. Everything about this game is amazing.
And it's also a game that I think Dom would really fucking like. So
100%.
When it comes down to it, if Mike and Dom actually play the game, this could be a potential contender for like a game that we actually all play and all fucking love, and it just ends up being like our unanimous.
This game is
contender.
Incredible. I'm like.
It is very good.
Like 10 hours in,
I'm
I'm absolutely blown away, and at no point do I ever feel like I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And it continues to fucking go in that direction, and like I just go out to a thing at the 10-hour mark, and I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing this now. It's like.
So I'll say, Dom, this is like a platformer that's way up your alley because I feel like it's just a good platformer, but it has like some of that. It's like. It's funnier and more well written than like Banjo and Conquer wish they were, if that makes sense. For like a lack of a better way to kind of make it, because I never played Psychonauts 1, and I never outside of knowing it's a platformer, I never really cared about Psychonauts. I never really like looked into anything about it, like whatever. But the story around the game is really good, and if you're like me and haven't played Psychonauts 1 or Psychonauts Rhombus of Ruin, which is a PSVR only game, the beginning of Psychonauts 2 basically recaps the story for you in a quick and like not like overly convoluted way. It's real good. Like I was playing it before we jumped on. Like that's what I was doing before we started doing this.
I was so.
To the point where I'm liking it so much to the point where Todd, right now, I haven't turned my PSVR headset on in a long time, but Psychonauts: The Rhombus of Ruin is on sale for $5 on PSVR, and I'm like, fuck. I know. I'm like, I kind of want to just download this and maybe get to it. I wish they would just port it to Oculus because I would definitely buy it full price on Oculus if it was there.
Dude, yeah. I mean, just wait. I can't wait for you guys to actually play more of this game.
It's very good.
It's really fucking good.
So here's this. Outside of like games that Todd will play or games that I'll play or games that whoever will play, if we go this Psychonauts route, that means the four of us will have all at least have touched Psychonauts 2, 12 minutes, in Space Jam,
I was just gonna say.
So Mike now has a second contender in his Mike Game of the Year watch. What's your where are you leaning? Is 12 minutes the new front runner, or is Space Jam still leading the charge here?
Oh boy.
You weren't expecting to have this. You weren't expecting to have this conundrum.
I wasn't expecting to have this conundrum. I also wasn't expecting for me to like dislike the gameplay of 12 minutes so much that I'm actually having a difficult decision picking. So, yeah, come back to me.
All right, there we go.
I don't know.
We are moving well into the back half of the year. We're getting to the back quarter of the year. Mike's leaving the suspense there. You're gonna have to tune in later in the year and find out.
People keep on saying this year is not that good for games, and I think this year's been fucking incredible. Between Rise, Returnal, Psychonauts, and I'm forgetting stuff, but like there's been so many fucking good games this year.
I feel like you liked the medium when you played it. Like I feel like you enjoyed it when you played it. Maybe it's not gonna hold water at the end of the year, but I feel like you liked that game when you played it.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed it. All these other games stand out a little bit more, but 100%. I definitely enjoyed it.
There's definitely some other stuff I could pull up, but we should probably welcome everyone to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we talk about Psychonauts too much, which would never be a problem. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Sunday evening is the anime senpai himself. They call him 12-Minute Mike for a reason. Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing?
They call me that for another reason.
I don't want to know. Maybe I do. Maybe I know. Maybe I already know. Who's to say?
It takes me 12 minutes to finish eating my food.
Like no matter the food?
No matter the food.
Like a candy bar takes you 12 minutes?
Flat 12 minutes.
Is that like some sort of curse you've been dealt, and you have to, like, that's just the way you have to live? Like I hand you a cookie. I have 2 cookies left from Goodnight Fatty. I give you one. It takes you 12 minutes to finish the cookie?
12 minutes.
You know that 12 minutes to save the world? Isn't it a will.i.am song?
Yeah. No.
TikTok.
Justin Timberlake song?
Justin Timberlake, Madonna, 4 minutes.
Is it 4 minutes? 4 multiple of 12. 12 multiple of 4. I don't know. However you say that sentence.
There you go.
Anyways,
Oh boy.
also joining us this evening is the Fortnite daddy, father, the V-Buck. I don't know. Something.
I feel like you had a thing before and you
Probably.
fucked it up.
Listen, we're just we're rolling here. We got a good episode tonight. Todd, how are you doing tonight? I just butchered everything. I didn't even say your name. Todd Gary. Shit's getting scary.
It's getting scary.
We're almost at October. Shit's getting scary.
I'm good. I'm ready to talk John Wick.
Hell yeah.
Right,
Hell yeah. And rounding us out this evening is the Disney daddy, the Star Wars savant, the fucking Mickey Mouse master, the Pixar fucking, I don't know,
I thought you were
pal.
going to say Poppy.
Well, I already called him the Disney daddy. I can't give him 2 fucking...
Yeah. Father names?
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much. Anyways, Dominic 40. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
I'm here.
Hell yeah.
People saying I'm back. Well, I'm thinking I'm back.
Yeah, I was literally gonna do the same thing, and I'm like, I'm not.
But you fucking didn't. Listen, I gave myself a middle part today. I'm feeling it. I got a short beard now. I'm embodying my inner John Wick right now. My inner JW. Mike's got a filter on for audio listeners. Before we roll into tonight's John Wick Trilogy Spoilercast in review, whatever you want to call it, the PTC Movie Club for August? Is that correct? August? Where's my dog? A couple of housekeeping things. This episode of the Pass Control Podcast is sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty from the Salem, Massachusetts area on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday evening. You want yourself something sweet, something delicious, something hot and fresh out of the oven, you can head down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty, tasty treats. But you know what? That's not it. You want something hot and fresh and delicious out of the oven on a Sunday a.m. to get your morning going? You can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious chubby. And let me tell you, there is no better way to start your Sunday than with a hot, warm chubby. Anyways, I don't know. I feel like I had another housekeeping thing, but we're just gonna roll into it because this I'm actually surprised that this is what this pick ended up being because we threw it out there. It was my pick this month. 4 different movies, and I'm surprised that John Wick kind of swept it in a landslide. And
I've been trying to get you to watch this shit forever.
Yeah. This is the John Wick movies have slowly become like. There was a point in time where you and Dom were trying to get me to listen to the Beatles. I wouldn't do it. John Wick became the new Beatles. I don't know what the next John Wick is. Like, I don't know what comes after John Wick.
I tried to get you to watch Lost.
That's true.
Like,
That's true. And then I become a big Lost guy.
Rick and Morty. I think Rick and Morty was another one that you like you didn't cave into right away. And then we had to.
Yeah, but the thing is, I feel like certain things cave quicker. Like I caved quicker probably on Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty was like the quickest ever. Like
where John Wick on the other hand was like, this has been a while. This has been a couple years, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to watch John Wick. I don't know if I care about Keanu.
I want to say I'm pretty sure we had an argument like 2 or 3 years ago that like John Wick is in like my top 10 movies or top 5 movies of all time.
Yeah,
and you were like, and you were so mad at me that I had it in my top 5, and you were just like, "What the fuck?"
Like I thought Todd liked good movies. I thought Todd was like
a
movie connoisseur.
Listen. I'm not gonna lie. A part of that was probably like this is a recency bias. It's a new movie, whatever. The other part of it was, for some reason, John Wick always came across to me as like. Just like copy and paste, insert popular actor action movie. And like I personally just don't care about action movies at all. Where like the action scenes in this movies are good. But there were definitely still times where I was like, all right, like enough of the action, get back to what's going on, because I actually do care about what the fuck is going on and I want to know more.
And that's the thing with this series is that like it does decent world building, but it doesn't do a lot of it. But when it does the world building, it's really fucking the whole continental.
Okay, all right. So
by the third movie, the violence and action scenes were absolutely gratuitous.
Yes.
The third movie is so ridiculous.
They get worse over time. Yeah. So
ridiculous.
I'll draw this line in the sand right here for anyone who's still watching or listening. If you haven't watched John Wick Chapter 1, 2, and 3, and you don't want any parts of these movies spoiled for you in any way, we're going to talk about all 3 of these movies in depth. So if any of that sounds like something you want to avoid, now is your last chance to walk away. But without further ado, I guess it would make sense. We won't just talk about it all in a smattering of things. We'll separate it by movie and kind of go through each one in some sort of way. But you already know. John Wick is a man of focus, of commitment, of sheer will.
So
I'm so mad they don't say that in the third movie. They say it in the first 2 movies, and they don't say it in the third movie, unless I missed it.
I don't think they did because I watched it today. And I don't.
They also bring up the pencil thing in the first 2 movies.
He did it in the third one, though.
He doesn't. No, he doesn't.
No, he does it in the second one.
Oh, I thought he did it in the third one.
It's when he starts getting chased around and like when the hits go out and like with the sumo wrestler dude and everything right around there.
Oh yeah, that was in 2. That was in 2,
yeah. But he doesn't say. No one says that about him in this third movie, and it makes me so mad. I guess at that point, just based on the plot, it doesn't really make sense for them to sort of like for someone to be talking about him again. But
I feel like he gets more respect in the third movie though, because people don't even want to fight him. They like help him out.
Oh no, they do want to fight him, but it's more of like it's fucking an honor to fight you, which is like that's fucking dope. That's like that's cool. Right. So, yeah.
But I will say with the first movie, it has one of my all-time favorite scenes, and it is the scene. And it's not even an action scene. It's the scene when his son comes back to Vigo, and basically, he hands him the drink, punches him in the stomach. And then he goes on his whole spiel of who John Wick is. And he explains how all the bodies underneath our business we are here because of John fucking Wick.
Yeah.
Like that whole scene is just so fucking good. And it's very rare you see, the bad guys are fucking cowering over the good guy, you know, like the quote unquote good guy. But
So
it's so good.
so before we get into the nitty gritty here, what is everyone's relationship with the John Wick films? Is it just like they came out and everyone saw them in theaters? Is that where all three of you stand? Or are these the things you discovered after?
I saw them all in the theater by myself. I think one of them was we were at Tavern. I left Tavern and I'm like, I'm just gonna go see it right now because I'm like, Amanda's not gonna give a shit about this. But yeah, I think I saw them all in the theaters by myself.
Yeah, but you just like you saw the trailers, saw Keanu, and you were like, I'm in. Like this is for me.
Yeah, I remember seeing they did a really good marketing job, I believe, of the first movie where I think they showed, they mentioned that it was like the people from the Matrix. They were showing all the work Keanu was putting in, and the whole concept of like they killed my dog was like a kind of a joke, but also like a huge part of like the trailers. And then I think I think the reviews came out too, and I've always followed the reviews regardless. And to see like an action movie like this get like a 90, I think every single one of them it's 86, 89, 89 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So so they're all super highly rated. But like that first one, I was like, whoa. I'm a big action guy, but like it doesn't need to be like anything like I want to see like a good action movie, but usually those movies never get good reviews. Like I'd say like 90% of them. So it was like really cool to see like, oh, people dig this, so there's got to be something here. And then going to see it and it lives up to the hype. But yeah, that's what it was for me. I just saw it by myself.
Okay. What about for you two? What about for you, Mike?
I don't remember. I know I saw the third one in theaters, but I'd seen the first two after the fact. I think what happened was at some point maybe the second one was available to stream, and that's when I put the effort into like renting and watching them.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the first two. I was like, all right, I'm in. Let's see where this third one goes. And I saw that one in theaters, and I was super hyped for that.
The first two. I think this weekend might have been the first time that I watched Parabellum, though. I don't remember the end of that movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Crap.
And I had every intention of like actually seeing it in theaters because Manzukis was propping it up on his podcast.
Yeah.
His 30-second.
Yeah. No, he's there at the end too.
Oh yeah, I forgot the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you say crap? What happened?
Something froze and it crashed the stream, so the stream went down. So I'll have to fix that later. But everything else is fine. I mean, yeah, for me, if this is the first and only episode you listened to and you didn't hear me or anyone else ever talk to me about John Wick prior to this, I've never seen John Wick. I've never cared about John Wick. So all three of these movies were first-time viewings for me, which makes the first movie specifically probably my favorite of the three movies for a few different reasons. But before we get into that, John Wick opened October 20, in late October. So we're almost at the anniversary of John Wick 1.
Like 10 years?
Yeah. No, sort of, kind of, yeah, 2014. So we're close. I mean, 7 years. Opened October 2014, budget of $20 million. What do we any
insane.
Any ballpark? Anyone want to guess what it did worldwide for its run?
Worldwide, United States, I'd say 150 or how. What I think it did like 150 or something in the States. I don't know though.
Yeah, I'd say 100 worldwide.
Michael,
I said 80 worldwide.
It capped out. This is according to Box Office Mojo. Capped out at 86 mil. Which I mean, I would argue. I don't know how movie companies like gauge how much of a success something was, but I would argue 60 million plus profit is a great, or over budget is great.
You want to make back double or triple your budget, something like that.
Yeah, it's double plus something, I think.
Yeah,
they greenlit John Wick 2 after the first weekend box office. I'm almost 90% sure. And I was like shocked. I'm like, oh wow. So like that makes sense because I didn't realize the budget was 20 million, and then that's what it took in. So that's fucking huge for a movie like that they probably were like, we hope we make our money back.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know what 2 and 3 made for money. I'm sure you'll get to that, but I mean, the fact that 4, 5, and a TV show are already greenlit. I mean,
yeah,
they know that they have something.
Oh, for sure.
I think each movie it went up though, didn't it? I mean, without going into it just yet, I believe each movie hit like the box office.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
What year was Parabellum?
The budget's gonna go up too. Yeah.
Parabellum came out in 2019.
2019.
But we will get to those numbers when we get to those films. So John Wick 1. The overall plot is a man named John Wick has his car stolen, has his dog killed, and then we find out more about what John Wick's story is. So for me, as somebody who, like, I tell you, I knew nothing, zero about what John Wick was about, other than
so jealous
that his dog died. That is the only thing that I ever knew about John Wick. So going into this movie, I mean, maybe at some point someone told me his wife died. I have no idea. But going to this movie, the only thing that I could remember about the film in any way was I know his dog died. Other than that, whatever. The thing that makes me, I think, like this movie the most is because this has probably has the least amount of action in it. Because the first, like, I don't know, at least 30, 40 minutes. Maybe it's not that long. I didn't actually look. But there's a good portion of the
12 minutes. Yeah, the first 12 minutes, because when I rewatched it, I kind of skipped past where the dog is initially killed, because I knew the beginning. I knew the beginning. I was like, all right, let me just get past the sad part of the film.
Yeah, that part's always tough to watch.
Like the first 12 minutes or so.
But even like, there's still, I would argue, a large portion of other parts of the beginning half of the film where like you're still kind of like figuring out like. So you get a little bit of John's backstory. You get the funeral. You get Willem Dafoe. You get the dog dying. You get his wife is sick. So like all this movie is doing to me is like, all right, is this movie gonna take place in the past? Like, where is this movie? Like, where am I going with this? Like, I know there's a lot of fucking killing and stuff. Like, who is this John Wick character now? And oh my god, this video is all fucked up. I apologize. The video for this is gonna just be trash. It's so bad. But I go into this and I'm just waiting for like when am I gonna find out like anything about John Wick? When I find out like his wife is sick, that obviously hits me in a weird specific way. So like I was like, oh, I like a little extra empathy for John Wick as a character. When he gets sent the dog, and like when he gets sent the dog, before he even opens picks up the letter, I'm like, oh fuck, this is definitely going to be like something about his wife in some way. And of course it was. So it's like you get this, before you find out about John's past in like the whatever hitman ring of things, you just like, you are getting all of this empathy for him. And sort of a reason of like, not necessarily like justification for what he's about to do for 3 movies, but like you get it. You understand his motivations, I think, pretty clearly, which I appreciated. Because again, this is the type of sort of, you know, quote unquote depth that I was not expecting the movie to have. Like I was not expecting to care about John's character in that type of way. And it made me kind of miss that in the future films. 2 does it a little bit, but it still kind of feels like it's just riffing off of the first movie, but we'll get there. But when the father, I forget, I have the names written down because I knew I was not going to remember all these fucking names. Vigo, yeah, Vigo is like the head Russian. When he is explaining to the kid, his kid, that's like this fucking John Wick and whatever, like you're getting that sense of like, all right, so like clearly he's a badass, but like we still don't fucking know, and like we don't get it. And what you kind of alluded to earlier, which I really appreciate, actually I can't remember if you said this on the podcast or when we were just talking before we started recording, but I'll say it again just in case we didn't mention it then. I think that especially in the first 2 movies, the world building is so good, but it's also not like pushed on you aggressively. It's like, it's like it exists and you slowly get little things and they don't feel bizarre and out of the way. Like, you know, he's going to the Continental and clearly things are a little bit different here. He's got these gold tokens. Like, clearly there's like some sort of thing here, but like it doesn't feel out of place.
There's a lore. There's a lore.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It feels like it's like they're following a graphic novel, but it's like just their own story. But it definitely feels like we're like, you know, we have some source material that we're going off of, and it's like definitely and it's and they've done a really good job with that though, and I think it's, you know, if they're gonna make 2 more, I mean, like we said, I thought these movies were all like an hour and a half, but like they were really like an hour and 50 to 2 hour movies, each one of them, and there's like I'd say like 60 minutes of the 2 hours is like straight action. So it's like, you know, you get like a little bit of world building, boom, action set piece, you know, go.
Mm.
Yeah. One of my favorite like little bits of world building, so to speak, is that fucking cop in like the first 2 movies. He'd be like,
I love it.
Again, Jimmy?
Working again. Yeah, right.
So good.
Good night, Jimmy. It's like what is this deal?
Everyone knows him. That's why it's so good. Like every fucking person knows him. No one questions him, and everyone just fucking is kind of like a
was when they were making this first movie. Do we know, was it supposed to be a trilogy or supposed to be more than one movie?
I 100% doubt it.
Were those things even written? Maybe like in the guy's head, maybe, but
it ends pretty open ended.
Yeah.
In the first one, so I mean,
but like I love Lance Reddick. Like I appreciate him and stuff. So like when he was there and he had like a kind of smaller role, his character throughout the movie is fucking like the 3 movies is fucking great to me. Like I'm like so happy with his character progression. Fucking John Leguizamo, like he was in the first movie so briefly, and when he pops back a little bit here and there, I'm like, I'm happy he's like still around in this universe. But oh my god, yeah, I just think they do a really good job, especially in the first 2 movies, with like not being so over the top ridiculous with like it feels grounded enough that like, sure, in New York City I could totally believe that there's a hotel here, that there's a fucking like assassin ring underneath it, like and then like,
gotta think about it like this: how often do we pay attention to buildings around us? Like, now that I have 2 kids, like I said this to Amanda last night. I had to go out at like 8:15, and I came back and I'm like, Amanda, I didn't even know there were certain lights that go off in my car at night. Like I haven't driven at night in like such a long time. That, like, you know, like I'm oblivious to fucking everything that's around me in the world. So this could be going on like, you know, a couple miles down the road, and I'd be like, I have no idea. I don't care. I play video games all day. You know, fuck this.
There's a lot of good cinematography in the first movie. Like I think there's a lot of really great shots. Like clearly with like the gratuitous like violence and just kind of the setting of certain fight scenes and stuff, to me it was just like, sure, this is just Hotline Miami the movie. Like this is just like John Wick is like a, not necessarily like a one-hit kill type of guy, but he's just kind of like, you know,
he always shoots people in the stomach and then in the head. He always shoots people twice.
Couple of leg shots too, though. He's got to get the leg shots.
At least twice. A couple people get more than one.
Yeah, you got to make sure they're dead. Got to make sure they're dead.
He's never a one-shot kill. He always shoots people twice.
So a lot of good
there is a caveat to that one, but that's not until the second movie at least.
Okay, all right. I'm excited to hear it. Might keep that in the brain. Don't lose that one.
Literally the last guy.
I actually had something good and I completely forgot what I was gonna say because I was like, oh, I remembered something else.
Yeah.
I can't remember who the last. Yes, fair. No, didn't he shoot him earlier? Anyways, keep going. Keep going.
So, yeah, I just think it has good world building, like underneath everything, like without being like over the top. You just kind of understand that, like when they slowly start to introduce some of the rules about like, you can't you know do work in the Continental, like you can't do work like, you know, on the property, stuff like that, like just little things like that like, again, they get thrown into a regular conversation. It doesn't get pointed out too much, because that's like something I super appreciate in this second movie, and I'll just say it because whatever, we're just here anyway. When the guy is chasing him back to the Continental, and they crash their motorcycles, and like maybe John's it. This is it. Like could be the end here, and he just reaches over and like puts his hand on the steps.
The third movie.
Oh, it's the third movie. You're right.
But yes.
But that's like it's subtle enough, and they don't call attention to it. Where I feel like other movies would be like, "You can't touch me now because I'm here," like, and they just do that, and they don't need to fucking call it out. It just is what it is. I forget Lance Reddick's character comes out, but
I think Sharon comes out and says it, but
he doesn't say it though. He just says he
says you don't want to get yourself in the same situation that he's in.
Yeah. So he says something, but it's not. I feel like other movies a lot of times would just more overtly say like, "Oh, you can't touch me now. I'm fucking here."
Based.
But I liked it a lot. I liked a lot of the action, which is surprising to me as someone who just doesn't really care for action movies. Like I thought I just thought the first movie was very well paced. I felt like it was a lot of like slow moments, a lot of scenes with like very little dialogue, which I appreciated. It was just a good movie, and I cared about John's motivations and I cared about his character, and it like strung me along in a way where it was like I want to know more about what is going on with him. Like
now that I'm thinking about it, the second one also had one of those movies because him and Common crashed through the window.
Yeah, that's the way.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Like,
yeah.
I love the nightclub scene in the first one. That whole nightclub scene when he like gets behind the guy at the beginning and he's like starts talking to him. He's like, "Why don't you take the night off?" And he's like, "Thank you, Mr. Wick." And
yeah.
He walks, you know?
Yeah.
Like I love that he knows everyone. Everyone fucking fears him, and it's just a constant state of respect. And or like we're fucked, you know. And I thought the kid Alfie, I forget what his name in real life is, who plays
he's
Game of Thrones dude.
His real name is Alfie.
Alfie, yeah. I thought he was really good in the movie because I like didn't like him at all, and that's kind of what his goal was to like just be this dude that's fucking not like be a Lannister basically.
I mean, he was literally like the role he was playing was like entitled kid with money or whatever behind him that he doesn't need to like. He doesn't understand like boundaries and like how things outside of his brain work and. Nope. Yeah, I mean, he was annoying, but that was what he was trying to be. And I appreciated. Again, I watched these movies back to back to back, so like I might mix some of them together at points. But I appreciated. No, I know this is in the second movie, so I'll get to that when we get to the second movie. But what else do we have to say about the first film? I mean, I personally think the ending was not great.
Well, it makes me actually think that they had other plans to like draw. I mean, because clearly at this point, each movie like ends on like kind of like that doesn't feel satisfactory at all. You know, like kind of, and each one progressively gets worse. I feel like at the same level. So they must have had some kind of idea for this.
I can't remember how the first one ends.
First one ends with
he goes to
he gets the dog, the new dog. He goes to the shelter.
Oh yeah.
Which that was a thing, and I guess I'll just bring it up now. Is there a reason why he never names the dog?
Dog. He doesn't want to get attached to it.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
I don't think he really had the chance to do it.
No, he did. If you look at how old the dog is when he gets it out of the shelter versus how old it is at the beginning of 2, there's time.
Yeah, I'm trying. I know
he's trained it.
Yeah, because I know 2 and 3 are like back to back, but I wasn't really.
One and two. There's time in between. I will say that rewatching the first 2 and watching the third one, the movies definitely feel like there are arcs within the films.
Wait, so that you say that the John Wick 1 takes 4 days. John Wick 2 takes place 4 days after the first one.
Days after the first one? That doesn't make any sense.
It didn't, because the beginning of the second one is
I think
the second one, like he has to get his car back.
Yeah,
his car
I think they reference that. Yeah, I think they reference it in the third movie that like when the adjudicator comes, I think at some point she says like you've been letting this guy run around for a week doing whatever the fuck he wants. I feel like they say something like that.
They do mention a time frame, and I think it includes like the bloodbath that was John Wick 1. So yeah, it was not a long period of time.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the first film is just really good. It's just a really good movie. Like I was no, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a super easy watch. It's really entertaining, and yeah, it's you know how everyone says like I love Fast and Furious because it's cheesy popcorn action. Like I kind of view like John Wick as that, but like I think it's at a way higher level. And like
they're both of these movies are kind of motivated by family.
Yeah. Well, John Wick's motivated by a lack of family.
Still family.
Like there's a lot of like a ridiculousness in John Wick, but like this, it's still grounded in a little bit of reality at the same time. Whereas like the Fast and the Furious movies are just like fucking, we're gonna fucking shoot this grappling hook off the side of the hook, spin our car around while you're riding on top.
They're on Fast 9. Wait for John Wick to get to.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean,
I feel like they both gave into a certain like theme. Where John Wick gave into like gratuitous violence, Fast and the Furious gave into like nonsense action.
Gratuitous driving. Gratuitous driving. Actually, I feel like we didn't even talk about a major part of the film, which is Willem Dafoe's character. And I meant to kind of go back and look into this. I forgot about it until just now. Is Willem Dafoe's character at any point actually trying to kill John Wick, or is he just trying to make sure no one else kills him?
So. I think he's always trying to.
Me and Mike had this conversation recently within the past week. I am under the impression that Willem Dafoe's character took the contract and had intended to fulfill the contract until Adrian Palicki broke the rules of the Continental. And then he was like, yeah, fuck this. If everybody's going to go against the contract, like the rules of the contract, then I'm going to protect John.
Well, okay, so I was thinking about that just now, but then why did he have his sights on John in the Continental? Because he would have also been breaking the rules if he had killed him.
No, because he's not in the Continental.
He didn't shoot him.
He didn't shoot him, but why was he like?
But I think that would probably be a loophole because he's not. I think it'd be a loophole because he is not in the Continental. Like technically, Willem Dafoe is not conducting business in the Continental. He's conducting business across the street in a fucking other room.
He also hadn't pulled the trigger, which means that maybe he was just watching, like maybe he was just casing him, like waiting for him to come outside.
That's true. Which then brings to the other point. So clearly John Wick is this fucking impossible to kill. He's the boogeyman. He's the Baba Yaga. Yeah. But he was seemingly going to die until Willem Dafoe shot one of those henchmen off of him. So like,
He's not invincible, but he does have like a lot of decent friends.
Yeah,
I mean, not to skip forward to the third one though, but he should have died like several times in the third one. But like people respected him and wouldn't kill him like a fucking coward. They wanted to kill him like a man, like so like he could have easily like if those people wanted to be as dirty as John is. They probably fucking could have just killed. You know what I'm saying? Like those people like.
But the thing is though. So actually, I didn't think to look at it that way. That actually makes a lot of sense because now I don't think Willem Dafoe's character was ever. Maybe he was intending on filling the contract, but I don't think he was ever intending on shooting him in the Continental. I think he's probably casing it, like Dom said, and when he realized that other assassin is breaking the rules, the bounds that tie all these people, to some sort of structure, he's like, fuck that. I'm not going to do that. But that's kind of like, I feel like John also doesn't really break the rules, and he also kind of doesn't I feel like there are certain fights where he's like sort of like, you sure you want to do this? Like this is, I'm not trying to like whatever. And he's left a few people alive. He leaves Common alive in 2.
See you later.
See you later.
Yeah.
I'll be seeing you.
I'll be seeing you.
Yeah. And it's funny because every time that line gets said, there are certain times where, like, when he kills Ruby Rose, is that her name?
Yep.
When he kills Ruby Rose's character, she says, or she signs, "I'll be seeing you," and he just says, "Sure," because he's like, "No, I didn't leave you alive. You're fucking dead."
Doesn't he say like, "No, you won't" to the other guy too at the end?
He says, "No, you won't."
Yes.
No, you won't. Yeah.
The guy he fights towards the end of 3. Yes. I also, and this is again jumping ahead to fucking 2, when him and Common meet in Italy in that party, and like, "Oh, are you working?"
Oh, you're working again?
Yeah. He's like, "Yep." He's like, having a good
How's it going?
having a good
How's it
night.
going?
Unfortunately, like so fucking good. And then when they fight, and then they end up at the whatever the Continental is in Italy. They're not all called the Continental, right?
Yeah.
I think they are.
Oh, they are all called to the Continental. Okay.
I think it's like a chain for them.
Well, to be fair, the one in is it Morocco in the third one?
Yeah, I think so.
They call it
Casablanca.
something else.
Oh, yeah, Casablanca.
Casablanca.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So when they're in the Continental in Italy, when they're at the bar, and like Common is like, "Don't worry, I got this one. Consider it a professional courtesy." John then says that back to him when he leaves him alive, and I'm fucking like, the perfect fucking line, like so good, such a good line.
Remember when Common was like the big like action star
Smoking
in
Aces.
that period of time? He was
Yeah,
like
he had, like, a bunch of
henchman
films.
in a
He was
bunch
in-
of movies. Yeah.
He was like in Smoking Aces and shit.
Yep.
I really liked how, I don't know why, when John goes to the Continental in Rome and the management meets him there, is like, I have to ask, are you here for the Pope?
Yeah.
That was a
Like,
good
like, oh.
scene too.
He's like, oh my God.
So let's wrap up one before we go into the next movies. So I was kind of disappointed with Willem Dafoe's character, the like arc. I'm sad that like he was killed in the movie.
He was taken out so early, considering like how
Yeah.
these movies have like.
But Jen also said
they
apparently Jen said that Willem Dafoe always dies in movies. I didn't know if that's a thing or not.
He does quite a bit. Yeah.
He died in
Platoon,
Spider-Man.
Platoon. He was the.
He's coming back in fucking New World, No Way Home.
He dies in a lot of stuff, I'd say, but you know, I mean.
I would also say that his character was used. So they made specific reference to "You are the last of the old guard."
Yes.
It seems like John is part of that.
Yes, I think so.
But it also like going into 2 and seeing John break the rules in 2, like literally like straight up like the whole reason that there's a third and past that is that he literally gives a shit about the rules in 2.
And that scene is so
like,
fucking good.
It almost seems like the killing of Willem Dafoe is like the turning point for John, where he like, all right, now he's completely unhinged.
Well, to be fair, that whole thing sort of that whole turn of events, I guess, comes about because the rules being broken.
Right.
Because of I forget what her Miss Perkins' character breaks the rules, and that's why that is all even happening. Because then she's casing Willem Dafoe's character, and that's how he gets back to Vigo, because she watches them two at the bridge towards the end of the movie, and I'm assuming rats out to Vigo that, oh, what's his name?
Willem Dafoe.
No,
I
Marcus.
think it begins with an M.
Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus and John are under the bridge talking, and she probably just puts 2 and 2 together and say, "Oh, Marcus was never going to fulfill that contract. He was actually crossing you." So,
If they didn't know that this movie was going to be as successful as it was, they would have kept William Dafoe around.
maybe.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Maybe.
I feel like he could have been like a great character to keep. Like,
Yeah.
because they have great. Like, this franchise gets fucking amazing actors. Like throughout, like each
For
installment.
seemingly small roles.
Yeah.
Yes, like I forget the in is it 3? The ballet. Is it Angelica Houston? Is that her name?
Yep.
Angelica Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's get like actors that I'm just like, oh, okay, random.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like all of the advertising for 3 had Halle Berry like plastered all over it, and she was in
She's
what
barely in it.
15
Yeah.
minutes of
20
it.
minutes,
Yeah.
Like 15, 20 minutes. Yeah.
But I guess it's sort of, it's like an unfortunate turn of circumstance. Like Willem Dafoe's character's collateral damage that sort of kind of sets up John Wick's character arcs going forward. That really can't exist without that. They could have maybe tried to pull something off with a different character. Like they could have maybe did it to John Leguizamo's character, but they would have had to put some different scenes in the movie that would have like showed their relationship being this long-standing thing.
Before we get off of 1, I wanted to say that's like one of my favorite scenes in 1, when Vigo's son goes to see him.
Oh my god,
And
it's
he
so
just
good.
really, I forgot about, and that's what I was. Yeah, like that whole scene, and like you can see like the second he's like, "Where'd you get that car?" Everyone's like spooked, you know,
Yeah.
like and that starts like the chain reaction of
Yes.
everything, and you just like,
And
yeah,
that's
it's so good.
to like compound on what I said earlier is like
And that's
me.
why he punches him though, because he knows he's not going to get in trouble. Because there's a second that Vigo
Yes.
talks to him, he goes, "Oh," and then
Yeah.
hangs up the phone. You know, it's so good.
But that's like the other part of why I think the first movie is probably my favorite overall, just because it's like is that slow buildup of like I know John Wick is this person, but like I don't know yet, and it's like a slow tease of like John Leguizamo fucking knows, and he's letting me know that
Everyone
like it's fucking bad. Like you can't not fuck with John Wick.
As he's busting out the sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And talking,
Yes, that is a good scene too. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Trying to bury his past.
But yeah, so good. I was kind of mad when I just wasn't I wasn't like a super fan of how the movie ended.
Yeah, I get that.
But I mean, it wasn't a deal breaker. I still enjoyed the ride, and I thought it was really good. Anyone else have anything else to say about the first film before we move on?
I liked Vigo's like number 2 guy, fucking
Mayhem
guy. Just like everything that's like English Vigo, please. I don't speak Russian.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he the Allstate guy?
Yeah, Chaos.
Yeah.
He's in other things. I IMDb'd him because I was like the only thing I knew him from was that, and I was like, this guy's. Please tell me he's been other things.
No, so I know him from 30 Rock because he's Liz Lemon's boyfriend for like a huge chunk of like that show's run.
He was on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He was on SVU.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff. But I liked him, and I liked at like towards the end, right before he dies, where Vigo has clearly just like given up. He's like getting high. It's like
he like hands him the gun.
He's like,
Yeah.
Off topic, Brenden, but you need to watch 30 Rock. And, like,
no, that show's fucking trash. I'm sorry.
No,
I've watched a lot
you're
of it.
crazy.
It's fine.
You're
It's whatever.
crazy.
I've watched.
You have not watched
I've
a lot of it.
I've watched enough of it to know that like I can't sit through that whole show. I don't think.
You probably didn't watch the first season to get to know.
Oh no, I watched it. I watched it from step one. It's just not.
That's so trash. That show is so underrated.
Maybe
is this the next John Wick?
No, it's not the next John Wick. 2 years, cut to 2 years from now. Yo, fucking Tracy Morgan's character is so good. Tracy Jordan, oh my god, great. That's his character's name, right? Tracy Jordan.
The PTC TV show club.
Listen, get that Patreon bucks up. We'll make a PTC movie club, TV club, AV video. Anyways, Todd mentioned it, and they do this throughout the movies, and I love it. I fucking love the phone calls in these movies, because it is almost always the person that's getting the call is just like, you don't need to say the answer. The answer is, I'm hanging up the fucking phone on you, and it just always feels good every fucking time.
A lot of times they call. It's like, you should have just run away, Jonathan. You should have been. He's just like, it's like,
right.
you know, the high table's not gonna like this. You know, we're gonna take away the continental.
Yeah.
But the fact that they all call him Jonathan.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Only Ian McShane's character calls him Jonathan.
No,
there's somebody else that calls him Jonathan too.
Someone else calls him Jonathan too, but it's mostly Ian McShane's character.
And John Wick is like a pseudonym. Yeah. So like, it's not like his name is not Jonathan at all.
Right.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. All right, are we wrapped on one? Can we move to two?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So 2 opens up with immediate lore building. City chase scene, knocks the guy over, pulls out some sort of fucking, can't remember if it's a silver key card or a golden key card. It must be like a key card or something. He pulls something out of the guy, drives away. Find out it's to go to fucking Vigo's brother's warehouse where they're funneling stuff. But actually, before we get there, John Wick 2 opened February 2017 with a budget of a little over, where the fuck's the budget? I don't know what the budget is. Box Office Mojo doesn't list its budget. How much do we think it did in theaters?
I'm gonna go back to 150 on this one.
I'm gonna say 100.
Yeah, I got nothing. 120 in between the other two.
I wish I knew the budget because it did 171 worldwide. So
there was a lot of hype after the first one came out. There was like people like the buzz happened and it happened like week by week. Everyone was like, "Have you seen John Wick? Have you seen John?" You know, like, and it makes sense. There was, and then that reviewed really fucking well as well.
To budget of $40 million.
So they doubled the budget and they fucking.
They made 131.5 million on top of the budget.
Yeah, so they did a good job with these couple movies so far. So yeah, I mean, it's I think it's safe to say, I know I haven't revealed the third movie's numbers yet, but I think we can all guess which way it's going. And all three of these movies are both critical and financial commercial successes. So that's it's good for a brand new franchise to have that kind of heading its way. I don't know why I closed this window. Whoops. So movie starts off with immediate world building. There's more people in this family that are doing stuff, and it's starting right off with the bat. Like, dude comes in the office, same line about John Wick is a what is the line? He's a man of focus, a man of commitment, sheer fucking will. He once killed a man with 3 men with 1 pencil or whatever. And then
like the guy with him, he's like,
exactly. And as this conversation's happening, you see John Wick is breaking into this place to get his car back. Which the dog thing, I totally get it, because like dog, wife connection, got it. And it's not that I don't get the car thing, and I'm not mad about the car thing, but I appreciate the car thing simply because of what happens when, I can't remember if it's when he gets in the car for the first time or when he gets the car home. Regardless,
he opens the glove compartment or whatever, and he has like.
I think that's once he gets into the car, isn't it?
A picture of his wife.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, I'm on board. John Wick's one thing is, I don't want to be in this fucking world anymore. I'm still mourning. Literally, he's like, again, these movies take place, would you say 4 days apart?
Yeah. 6 days total, all of them.
So he's in the process of mourning and grieving his wife still. He has no one that he loves. The dog was the thing he loved.
You know what? You don't really think about that either. Like, I mean, because the movies are so far apart and everything, and then we're like 6 days. His wife just died. You know, we think about it like, oh, his wife died so long ago, and he's still angry. You know,
yeah.
It's like, but when you actually look at it, like, you know.
Yes, which again, like, I mentioned that the second movie kind of, not necessarily like a cheap pull of like sort of just kind of harping on the same thing as the motivational setup for what happens next. But it sort of is kind of the same thing. So we get.
Do you think so? Because I feel like the second builds a lot off of like the past of like what John did. I feel like it's like, you know what I'm saying? I don't find it to be the same story. Maybe I'm crazy here.
It is and it isn't. So like they clearly are just building on top of that. Like they're building on top of one. But the beginning of the movie, and again, I didn't dislike it because like that motivation, especially being that fresh, is like, that's not an absurd thought to me that he's still like, A, doesn't want to fucking do this anymore, and B, is still like mourning everything. Plus, I don't remember if they do it as much in the second movie, but in the first movie, it's a constant, like, it's a joke to everyone else. Like, all because of a fucking dog, and it's like, no, it's not a fucking, like, it's not a dog.
It's basically like all these assassins are basically friends, because at some point in their careers, they all went to one another to call upon a favor for one person to do something. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone has one of these markers. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I feel like they all actually are, like, quote-unquote friends, but...
I would argue at least the high-level ones, you know, they probably have, you know, had a drink in the Continental together, you know what I mean? Like, they've crossed paths in some ways, whether it's, you know, taking a blood oath or...
I'm not talking about the high table stuff, but, like, more or less, like, the hitmen themselves, like, all of those... Yeah, like, because, like, they're all, like, I mean, like, what's it call it? In 3, what's her name? With the dogs.
Halle Berry's character?
Yeah. She has
Sophie,
John has one on her, and then the bad guy in 2 has one on him, and then
Yeah.
and then he has the chain from the ballerina coats in the third one, and
Yes.
it's just like an ever-ending, like they all just work together, but then
well, so the ballerina thing is a little bit different because I think that was like it made it seem
that's
to
where
me
he came from, basically.
Yeah, it made it seem to me that like John was an orphan and he was raised there.
Yeah, that's his red room.
Yeah,
exactly. 100%. Yes.
You're not wrong.
When they showed all the wrestlers and doing all the same moves, he's always doing the hip throws and always doing the leg takedowns. He's doing like the jujitsu basically, and like that was his like home base. That's why she said you can never come back here, and burns his back.
Yeah. So like the opening was fine. Like I liked some parts of it. Again, I'm just not a big action person, so like when different taxis just like running into and all this stuff, I'm like, all right, get to like what's next. Like I get it. He's got the car now. Like what's next? He's back at his house. Santino comes by with again, not over the top, not beating your head. Pulls out the marker. They talk about it a little bit. They don't go too crazy into detail. You don't really like. You get it that there's some other thing at play here, but you don't really get it because they're not beating you over the head with it. It's just kind of like, here's a plot device, here's a thing, we're talking about it, I need you to do something, not going to do it, I don't want to do this anymore, blah, blah, blah. He leaves, blows up his house. This now is what cavalcades John into like more. This is why I think, again, it's not necessarily cheap because I don't think it demeans the movie, and I still think it's earned. But blows up his house, and what does that do? It erases everything of his wife. Burns his phone, burns all of his pictures. So like he loses everything physical from his wife, except for the bracelet when he goes back and finds it, or whatever it is. His bracelet, necklace? I forget.
Something like that. Some piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
If you think about it though, like everyone's following the rules except for John. John's like denying the fucking.
No, he was following the rules though until the end of 1.
No, I know,
He was
but like
following the rules until the end of 1.
Yeah, but then when that guy gives him the fucking
because he's not following the rules anymore.
But then he's begging Halle Berry to do the same thing that he just said fucking no to, and it's like, I'm not doing it. Like
I mean,
but he also says, I don't expect you to do exactly what I'm asking. Just getting me there will be enough.
Yeah.
He essentially says, like, I'm actually asking you to do this with my marker, but I'm not going to actually like force this upon you. All I want is to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he like begs her not to pull the gun out.
Yes.
That's a different movie, so.
Yeah.
That's 3? Yeah, it is 3. So that all happens. Now John is reignited to get back out there, wants his car fixed. Actually, I think the car fixing thing might happen beforehand, or I don't know if John Leguizamo comes before or after.
Yeah, I think he takes the car before.
Yeah. This is one of Mike's favorite scenes because Jimmy comes back and, oh, gas leak? Yeah,
right.
Gas leak. I'm pretty sure at this point too. I think he asks him, "So you're working again?" And he goes, "See you later, Jimmy," and he walks away. It's one of Keanu's like only full sentences in the movie, I think. But back at the Continental, I love that Lance Reddick is back because his character's great. I love that he leaves the dog this time with Lance Reddick's character, and then when they when he reunites with the dog, it's like Lance Reddick's character fucking loved the dog. He's like, oh, that was
right.
Time well spent.
That was great.
Which then sets up the third movie, the dog going back there, which makes sense because that was the other thing too. It's like I was waiting in John Wick 2 and 3 for them to kill the dog at some point, and I'm glad they didn't because if they did, then I probably would have been like, okay, they're just literally rehashing the same motivations. Right. I did sort of kind of appreciate in 3 that like it was sort of reversed where try to kill the dog, doesn't kill the dog, and the dogs are fucking killing people.
I thought the
shot
dog was
my dog. Believe me, I get it.
I also was confused. Yes.
Yeah, because I saw. So he shoots the dog.
Yeah.
And then Halle Berry goes on like a killing spree. against the Onion Knight. That was him, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then then they're in that next. They're in that next room. Yeah, they're in that next room, and I see a dog jump by, and then I see another dog jump by, and I'm like, wait a second, what? I thought they killed that dog.
No, so I don't know if you guys, because I watched this.
No, because the dog had a bulletproof vest.
He had a bulletproof, and she pulls the bullet off his vest.
Oh, okay, I missed that part. Okay.
Right before she pulls the gun off, she like knows the dog's okay, and she pulls the bullet off. But she doesn't give a fuck. I mean, if someone shot my dog even in the bulletproof vest, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah. So
especially if it's the Onion Knight.
Yeah, right.
I love that the dogs get some revenge in that movie. But we're not there yet.
We didn't get a Game of Thrones character in the second movie, did we?
What's that?
We didn't get a Game of Thrones character in the second movie, did we?
No, we should have actually. I don't think.
I mean, I can name the main cast right now. I don't know any Game of Thrones people though, so I wouldn't know.
There is anyone.
I can't think of anybody.
Aside from like the main people, Peter Stormare, Bridget Moynihan, Franco Nero, or Bridget Moynihan's just his wife.
Bridget Moynihan, who's not in any of the movies. She was in like that flashback scene and then pictures.
Yeah. Franco Nero, Ian McShane, that's Winston.
Ian McShane's not in Game of Thrones.
Claudia Girini, that's his that's the sister that kills herself. Was Stevens. Peter Serafinowicz, who is fucking fantastic.
That's the voice of Darth Maul.
Voice of Darth Maul.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
What actor is that though? Who is?
Oh, yeah, John Wick.
He's also they're a bunch of a-holes.
Wait, which guy are you talking about though?
In the movie? Hold on, wait, don't say it, Mike. I want to talk about that scene because I fucking love that scene. Peter that's that guy. Luka Mosca, Tobias Segal, Thomas Sadowski, Chuck Iwuji, Eric Franzen, and Perry Young. So I don't know if any of those people are in Game of Thrones.
No.
So I don't know what we want to talk about in the movie, but once we get to Italy, does anyone want to talk about anything before Italy?
Not that I can think of.
So when he gets to Italy and he gets to, the Continental there, Mike brought up the Pope line, which is a great line. I agree. But when he goes, so like it doesn't, unless they say something and I just missed it, it doesn't seem like what he's initially doing is going to get fucking kitted out to go kill motherfuckers. Because like he goes to like a bookstore and then he goes to like a tailor, but it's like everything's a front and then he goes out into like the back. And then when he goes up to the lady, like the concierge, at the Continental, he's like, "Oh, is the sommelier in?" And that's the guy, Todd, the gun guy. That's the guy they were talking about. That's the Darth Maul voice.
I don't remember him from anywhere. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So, that whole thing was like I've never seen The Kingsman, but I feel like The Kingsman, to me, as someone who's never seen it and only has seen commercials and know nothing about The Kingsman,
very, very similar.
But The Kingsman to me seems over the top. This is like, it's like over the top, but also works in this fucking universe.
You know what? The first Kingsman actually really works in the same way that this movie works.
Really?
I would say watch the first. Yeah, I think you'd actually really like the first Kingsman too. I don't the second Kingsman is just a little. I didn't like it as much. It wasn't anywhere near. But the first, like when I see, what's the main actor in the Kingsman movie? Like in the first one.
Taron
Killam. Taron Killam.
Taron Egerton.
No, the
Colin
older
Firth?
guy. Colin Firth. His scene.
Colin Jost and Taron Killam.
That scene in the church is very like John Wickish, where he's like doing the moves and he's like, and you're just like, I mean,
This isn't me hating on Kingsman. I just don't know anything about Kingsman.
No. You should definitely watch the first one though. I highly recommend it. The first movie.
Okay, maybe, or maybe someone will make it their pick for a month. Who knows? Who's to say? Mike loves Kingsman. I know that. So yeah, the sommelier scene is so fucking good. The suit thing is also like, again, sort of ridiculous. He's tailoring him a bulletproof suit. Why doesn't he just always have a bulletproof suit from that point forward? I don't know. Can they only make it in Italy? Who the fuck knows? But I also like that, like, in New York, it's not that ridiculous, but in Italy, it is that ridiculous because it just feels like it fits for some reason. I don't know how.
That's how they do it in Italy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it just feels like that's how it works in Italy, and that's just how it is. They've been doing this for longer. I don't know. So it's just I appreciate that, and like the sommelier scene is just so good.
Oh,
yes, when he's the way he's like picking his weapons, and it's like, what kind of party you're going to, like, or when the tailor's like, what is it, are you how do you want to be dressed, for this or for this? It's like I need one for day, I need one for day and one for night, like, just like, so it's just so stupid, but it's so good.
Tactical.
Yeah, tactical. So great.
I want to make a big bang.
Yeah, right.
Dessert is the knife, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, so fucking good. Such a good fucking thing. And then I actually didn't like the next couple of scenes. I wasn't really a big fan of like this concert in the fucking catacombs or whatever. Like,
it was kind of weird.
It was just, it made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like
it felt very Blade-esque.
It was like the Great Woods
Or Matrix 2.
Yeah.
Or Matrix 2, yeah.
No, I get that.
Like this, like the settings in the first movie felt more realistic and grounded. Like, yeah, he's going after this Russian dude. They're going to a fucking nightclub. It all makes sense. It kind of fits together. Where, like, I don't know. I looked at Jen at one point when he goes into the lady's, like, where she ends up killing herself. I was like, oh, the fucking bathrooms in Italy are fucking ridiculous, huh? And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, never mind. Like, just never mind. But like, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of like that whole section of the movie was a little ridiculous to me. Like, I don't even think I necessarily understood the reason why she was killing herself. Like, I get it. Like, I'm not going to let someone else dictate my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't seem.
Bro, come on.
It was whatever.
I think everything after that part, though, and I completely agree with you on that part. I think the weakest part of 2 is that part until he does the escape where he has all his gun stations in different areas and everything. But I do agree. I think that's like that whole little chunk right there is a very weak part of the movie.
Yeah.
But I think moving into the next part is some of my favorite stuff, where like they put the hit out on him and like literally like every person you see, it's like more world building. It's like everyone's a fucking hitman in this world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone flips their phone. They look and they're like,
yeah.
I'm gonna stop playing the violin now.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I'm gonna stop being a street performer. Now I'm an assassin.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then that leads into we finally get a scene with a pencil. You know, at the wherever he strolls into the bar, and when he puts the pencil against the wall and just like pushes the guy's head in him. Yeah, it was like, yes.
I don't remember that scene. I'll have to rewatch it. Yeah, I don't remember that.
It's in the subway. The giant like Japanese guy too. The battle with him is awesome too.
Right? Yes, I remember the movie theater, and I was like a kid in the candy shop. I was like so giddy. I'm like, he's using a pencil. He's using, like I was like, yes, let's see it.
Well, now it makes sense that's why John Wick's pickaxe in Fortnite is a fucking pencil. Now it makes sense.
Wait, is it really?
I don't know. I don't know if it's the real John Wick skin that has a pencil pickaxe or if it's the fake John Wick skin. Either way, there's a pencil pickaxe. It's not like a giant pencil. It's like a big black thing that just has a pencil at the tip. So you just like you're beating someone with a pencil.
Yeah. So I remember the second movie really clicking for me and like everything about John Wick clicking for me when John and Common's character were just like they were in the subway station and they were like just trying to sneak shots at each other with like
yes, I love it. Like, yeah,
like,
so
yeah.
good.
I was like, this is madness, and I love it.
So it's funny you like that scene because I was gonna bring that scene up because I don't know how I feel about that scene simply because it's like Common clearly seems to be an above average hitman as well. So like he seems like he is not a fucking Joe Schmo. John Wick, he's taking a lot of shots. He's not missing a lot of shots. The both of them miss so many shots in that scene, and I'm just like, come on. Neither one of these guys is hitting. At least just hitting the other one.
It's just.
I felt like they were toying with each other almost.
Yeah,
maybe
they were hitting. It seemed like they were hitting like just behind and just in front of each other, as if they were doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I could see that. The other thing I can think too, and I don't think this ever gets mentioned in a movie, but it seems like there's probably a very hefty price to pay if you were to like kill or injure someone that either isn't a contract or isn't an assassin. So they must be like very cautious to not injure civilians because it's the same thing in the first movie. Like he clearly could have taken shots at the kid in the club, but there were just too many He was using people as like regular people as shields, civilians, and he wasn't shooting when that was the case. So, do I think John Wick could have hit those shots? Absolutely. But
there was also a weird thing with him and Common when Common sees him after the hit's gone out and the fountain goes up, and there's a shot taken through the fountain, and then it seems like everything stops.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like you said, like once the fountain went up and the shot went through, they were like, all right, we don't know who's on the other side. Like we can't take shots at each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
that
you
makes
said,
sense.
like there could be a civilian almost.
Yeah. That's probably what it is. I mean, when you get to John Wick 3, it doesn't fucking matter because all rules are seemingly out the window, at least for John Wick, because he's excommunicado. But
John Wick 3's violence is
there's a few scenes where like I'm just like looking away, like I don't need to see these like throats slit and like certain like neck and
the
eye one's so
worst.
bad, so bad.
That one's bad. Oof.
Yeah.
That whole scene. I mean, we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there.
The thrift shop scene is the worst.
It's so good though. It's like one of my favorite scenes.
So I liked Common and John Wick's characters together. I'm happy that there's potential that he's not actually dead, because he leaves him on the train and he says if you pull that out you'll bleed to death. So
yeah, but I don't know if he could actually
come
get
back from that. Yeah.
But at the same time,
he leaves it with the words. I call that that's a professional courtesy instead of saying I'll be seeing you.
I think he was just being like a vindictive dick there. Like that was just a thing. But what I was gonna say was it didn't cross my mind when I was rewatching it the other day, but it hit me because like it was on TV again. I was watching, I'm like, oh yeah, that's basically it. Not the exact same thing, but essentially what ends up happening with Lawrence Fishburne's character, or what he says happened to him in the past when they first interact. It's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna do this. If you try and kill me, it's going to kill you, because if you have to like keep pressure on like this wound so you don't bleed out. So you're not gonna kill me, and he like survives that. I don't know if Common could pull off the same thing, but I'd like it if he did.
I think it's left open-ended on purpose.
Yeah, and I think Common is actually that's his best role he's done, because it's very hard to Common has such a unique voice that like it's very hard to like remove the Common rap persona from anything he's ever done. And I felt like this movie was like the first time I was like, oh, Common's really good in this fucking movie. Like he was really good in it. And like he like we said, he was in a lot of movies at the same time. Like, oh, hey, it's Common again. Oh, it's Common. You know, because he's got
Common has an Oscar, so.
Wait, does he?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's for music, but.
Oh, okay. What was it for?
Yeah.
Him and John Legend got one for Glory, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that part out. He just Common has an Oscar.
Yeah.
He has an Oscar. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like Lady Gaga has an Oscar too. She's fucking gold.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a good relationship. Again, we brought up the bar scene. It was great. Kale in the chat said, "Nah, Common's best role was in Suicide Squad. Never seen either of them, so I have no idea if that's a joke or not." But
it's a joke.
Is Common in Suicide Squad?
I think he is actually. I could be wrong.
The first one. I can't remember who he played, but I think he was in the
first
movie.
Was so bad. I couldn't even.
I haven't watched either of them.
Also an Oscar.
It's true. Yeah. Common is tied to at least 2 Oscar movies, probably more, because I'm sure he's had music in other movies that have won Oscars. I bet. But yeah, so I appreciated that bar scene a lot. I thought it was really good. I kind of just I like the odd structure of what's going on under the high table. Like I just like that like there are these random rules and not random, but there are these like rules and codes that they all abide by, and it's like just like this is what they're doing. Common played Osiris.
Didn't say it still.
So yeah, but I appreciated that, and then from that point forward, the movie does that when he goes back to New York.
The museum scene.
No, he has to go. He's still like in the subway, and like more people are after him. So that's when he gives the coin to one of the homeless people.
Ah, yes, to get to Lawrence Fishburne.
King. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, you man, can you give me a quarter?
Yeah. That was a pretty good scene.
That was a good scene too. I was like.
He literally just take me there, and he like covers himself with a tarp.
Yeah. You know, so this whole aspect of John Wick in 2 and 3, when like the Bowery Kingdom gets brought into play, it's like, again, this is like super fucking absurd, but it feels like it makes sense in that world.
Yeah.
And it also feels very like it just feels very like Yakuza Like a Dragon to me, where it's just like,
Brenden just read my mind. I just picture him sleeping on the ground to try to like with the
yes,
tarp.
yeah. I'm just like,
I was literally just gonna say that. I was not expecting you to go that route, but
yeah, I feel like it was just like it channels that same type of absurdity where it's like,
yes,
Yakuza
exactly.
games are about like, you know, Yakuza clans, like family, and like all these things, and like inter family like feuds across the cities and stuff, and that's like kind of similar, not really, but like similar enough. And it's just kind of,
it was where my brain went.
yeah. But Lawrence Fishburne's character is great and fucking ridiculous. Carrier pigeon fucking intel across the fucking city through pigeons, just nonsense. But
we're still not sure if that's just made up, because he like says like, yeah, all my pigeons, like, they can't be hacked. He says that in the third one, but like, what information is he passing? We never see anybody else with pigeons.
That part,
let's give it to like his home, like his homeless homie boys.
Yeah.
That's where
I guess we see pigeons at the end of John Wick 2. There's a bunch of pigeons on the top of the statue as Winston sends John away.
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I mean,
but that's the only other time that I like.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible that they actually do serve some sort of intel function for them, but at the end of the day,
surveillance almost.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like they're
wacky.
Well, their thing is also like they're whether they're disguised or actually they're just homeless people around the city. So like those types of people are gonna get as much intel as they want because they're just all over the fucking city, and people are probably having conversations in front of them, not even paying attention to that.
I think they're disguised because we see them changing into homeless.
Yeah, so like they're all over the city. I did not know Jason Mantzoukas was gonna be in the third movie, and when that happens, I'm just like, this is fucking. It broke it for me because I was like, he's like
talk, Mr. Wick.
Yeah,
talk.
He's like what Common is for Todd, where it's like Common is so distinct that like it's just that's Common, and like for me, I was like, oh, that's just Jason Mantzoukas. Like I can't.
But he was playing a homeless person, so it's completely believable.
Yeah.
Where does he get all this work from? Like he's in like a bunch of like.
Is that a lot of work? Is that? Let's be honest. Is that like? Is that a big get?
But like he's in like all these big things. He's like in Invincible. He's in like a bunch of random shit all the time. This dude's
the
like
Invincible
everywhere.
get is probably a bigger role than just being a sort of very ancillary character in John Wick 3.
Yeah, it's just weird, like, cause like I don't know anything about that dude. I don't even. He's from that fantasy. He's from that fantasy show or whatever. The fantasy.
The League.
Show.
The League.
The League.
That's how I found out.
He's from Nahant.
He's from Nahant.
Yeah, did you know that? Todd, he's from Massachusetts.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's from Nahant.
Nahant, Massachusetts. Yeah.
I thought you said the Hunt. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's why I clarified because I figured you did not hear what he said clearly. So then they use the Bowery to go underground to get back to New York, or to the museum, wherever fucking Consigliere Joe is being hidden, whatever his name is. Not that Santino. I don't know why. Something else on the screen with character names. I think I read Concierge and it was all just jumbled. So this was one of those scenes. I don't know if it happened. Maybe it doesn't happen in the first movie or not. But this was the time in the 3 films where it stood out to me for the first major time. When he starts fighting people in the museum, he runs out of ammo. And like we talked about, any other action film, unlimited ammo, fucking rocket launcher in your pants, like whatever it may be. This is still power fantasy nonsense, but like a little bit more grounded where you see John constantly like changing guns, picking up dead people's guns, picking up other people's ammo, taking ammo out of his belt to load his gun.
He literally only went into the museum with 7 bullets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a big. They mentioned it more than once.
$7 million, 7 bullets.
Yep.
$1 million a bullet.
And he runs out of ammo, and instead of just having unlimited ammo, just chucks. It's in the room. It's like a very distinct scene. It's like it is a very very plain room with like black floors, maybe black walls, and it has like 8 sculptures in it, and they're like in a square pattern. And it's just like a guy running at him and John running forward, and he just fucking whips the gun at his head. And I'm just like, this is fucking amazing. Like, it's so stupid and so great at the same time. I loved it so much. And I feel like from that point forward, that's when I started to notice that more often, that he would be doing, like...
He'd use other people's guns to shoot.
Yeah.
He'd, like, pick other, like,
Yeah. Or, like...
There were a lot of times where he'd get people in, like, a chokehold, and then he'd, like, use the other guy's gun.
Yes.
And then he'd, like, leave that guy and go get the other person's gun.
Yeah. It's so good.
Plenty of movies where action movies where I'm just like, oh, maybe it's from playing video games all the time. I don't know, but this has been I'm almost 40 now, and this is something that's bothered me since I was like fucking 12. Is when movies just keep on shooting and shooting and don't reload, and it's like it takes me out of every fucking action movie. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I played Call of Duty. That gun's got like 35 bullets max. So, like, there's no way, there's no more bullets in it. And then they're like, there's just nonstop. And I'm just like, that's why I think I appreciate this movie so much too, because like that is something that bothers me so much, and it's done across the board. It's not like
Well, and again, that's why I was surprised, and that's why, like, I just don't care about action movies, but that's why I appreciated a lot. I appreciated a lot of the action scenes in these 3 movies more because of those little details that they don't necessarily really matter, but like they ground the fight scenes in a little bit more of a reality that is like the stuff they're doing is still fucking ridiculous, but there's that little element of like, well, he's paying attention to his ammo and this and that. It's in the 3rd movie. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Mike.
Hold on. Now I'm trying to think. Maybe the thing I was about to say was from the 3rd movie too.
You guys
Think about it, because I know mine is, but I'm gonna say it now anyway.
I think mine is the 3rd movie too.
So
no, not the knives.
One of my favorite like ammunition sequences in a fight scene is in the 3rd movie, where it's towards the end. And they have the content. They like basically are whatever they're doing. Yeah, deconsecrating the Continental in New York, and they're in that like safe room, and they're gearing up. Fucking John and Lance, or not?
Winston's just sitting drinking his drink.
Yep. What is Lance's character's name? Sharon or Sharon? Sharon.
She's talking about how they're armor-proof slugs or whatever, and like.
Well, so like little stuff like that. But the thing that I loved the most about that whole sequence was that like they go out in the first time, and they come back in to get more ammo, and I'm like, what action movie is doing this?
John literally looks at Sharon and goes, yeah, they have better armor, huh? He like makes a joke like, yeah, you told me I had better armor, but you didn't tell me these guns were gonna be worthless.
Yeah. Oh, so fucking good.
That whole part too. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
It's great.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
the
Mike.
scene I was thinking about was, I think, at the beginning of the 3rd movie, where he's in like the flea market area, and he picks up a gun and he tries to load it, but the bullet doesn't fit. And like he
rebuilds a new gun. Yeah, he rebuilds a new gun. Yeah.
I don't know. That was just crazy.
Oh, that's the beginning of the 3rd movie. Yes.
He rebuilds. Yeah. He rebuilds a 6-shooter to shoot 1 bullet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the guy comes through the door and he just blasts him in the head.
Can't waste ammo. You can't fucking waste ammo. John Wick is a survival action game. It's like a survival action game. Like you can't just waste ammo.
Have like a
during
Max Payne John Wick game at this point.
During the 3rd movie, I was like, we need a video game where you just play as John Wick in like the height of John Wick being an assassin, like before he goes into retirement.
Absolutely.
I mean, there is room for. I mean, it kind of exists maybe with something like PUBG, but like there is room for like a John Wick style like survival battle royale where like everything is very. I mean, I guess there are other games that already exist like that. So maybe just like an online game where you're just like with other people and like every bullet matters. If you reload your clip, like you lose that other 6 bullets or whatever.
So it's basically Escape from the Continental instead of Escape from Tarkov or something like that.
Pretty much.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself how well the whole series would work as like I was trying to write the game in my head, like what kind of game would it be? Because like
so there is a game right now.
There is a John Wick game, but like part of me was like picturing like not necessarily like Arkham Asylum, but like similar and like you have like
it's like the Matrix games.
No, like they could just literally do Max Payne 3.
Sure,
Max Payne 3. Like I mean, because like they did that John Woo game right after Max Payne 2. It's called Stranglehold, I believe, and it was like literally just it took everything from fucking Max Payne and just made it like another game.
Yeah.
Just fucking do that with John Wick.
But at the same time, I kept thinking to myself, like, I want this game to be like this, but I really want it to have just certain parts where it's like, it, for whatever reason, just turns into, what's that game on VR?
Oh, Animal Crossing.
Yeah, Animal Crossing, there it is. Where it turns into Pistol Whip. Just, not like necessarily rhythm-based, but just so you can, like, run around and then shoot like that.
So I've seen at least one review that calls Pistol Whip like rhythm John Wick, and after watching John Wick, especially the first movie when he's shooting the whole nightclub scene, I'm like, oh, okay, yes, like this is just Pistol Whip, like he's not shooting to the music, but he kind of is. But yeah, we jumped way into the third movie. So to bring it back to the second, they're in there. He's going after the brother Santino, which again, a character I didn't really care for. Like 2, I think is the weakest of the 3 movies. I don't know how everyone feels about the 3 movies.
Yeah, I thought he was a good bad guy though. Like I thought he was a piece of shit, and I fucking hated him. And
yeah, but like I didn't
like him. Like he was a bad guy, and I did not like him. But I also just didn't like him altogether. Like even the first villain, Vigo, and then like Zero.
I just found him to be a pussy. One. He just came across as a pussy. He didn't come across as like some like Vigo. Like at least fucking like toughed it out. Like this guy's just running to the Continental left. And right, fucking,
but
you know, like
I also feel like I don't know. Like I feel like the motivations for things that are going on and the plot for 1 and 3, they just make more sense.
He basically, I think he obviously fucked over John Wick though, and too like, hey, take this, you owe me this, but I'm gonna kill you regardless. So you're like, you know what I'm saying? John Wick had like no chances. Like he was just fucked. From if he said no, he was fucked. Even if he said yes, he was fucked. You know, like because he's like, I have to avenge my sister. You know, it's like motherfucker, I just did what you fucking told me to do.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, you know, it's just one of those things. But I like not to rush through too, but that scene in the Continental when he's in there eating the steak and the duck fat or whatever, and you just know it's coming. You know it's coming, and he just does it. I'm like, yep, fuck yes. You know, like I didn't even fucking care.
What have you done, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly.
No,
even though he knew he was gonna do it, you know.
That is a great scene, and part of why that scene is so great for me is that I was happy that this idiot Santino is finally out of the movie because I didn't care about his character. I didn't think he was a compelling villain. I think his motivation for wanting to kill his sister, I understand that wanting the power thing. It just didn't seem like it was. It just didn't seem like it was a strong motivation to me. I don't know. It just the things going on in 1 and 3 just feel more realistic, I guess, in the sense of John Wick's universe.
Yeah, I didn't care for Santino that much.
I do think another great scene was when Winston goes to Santino after John kills the sister to like put the marker in the book, and he's like, "You don't know what you've done." What does he say? You woke the devil, or you took the chains off the devil.
Yeah, I love everyone is very aware of what so that's why it's always this escalating fear between the quote unquote bad guys, and that's why it's always so good, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, the rest of the movie goes. After he kills Santino, I can't remember how late into the movie that is. How much more left of the movie there is?
Basically.
Yeah.
Not much more. He goes home to like pick up his stuff.
He
goes home to like.
He takes the dog, goes back, and he's sitting in the rain, right?
Yeah.
He's in the house and Charing.
He's in the house.
Picks him up.
Yeah, takes him
and brings him back.
Takes him to the park.
And, to seemingly potentially get killed or be in a scenario where he's going to get killed because that's what happened to Miss Perkins' character. But instead, Winston decides to give him an hour to basically try to get away, which then his bounty at the beginning of 2, I believe, is... Does he have a bounty in the first movie?
No.
So I think
he does 2 million.
Yeah, I thought there was a 2 million bounty. Yeah, so there's oh yes, that's right. So there's that, and then I think by the end of 2, the contract is 14 million.
Yeah,
one that Santino opens on him is 7
It's
million.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes from 7
And
to
then-
14.
And it doubles when Winston puts it on.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not until 3 then, or is that when he
It's at the
end of the
it's
movie?
at the end of
Okay,
2.
yeah, and
I
then
think the beginning of 3
he bumps it to
starts
20, I
with
think.
them bumping it up.
Yeah, okay. So,
And
oh, go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, like at the very beginning of 3, the scene is so fucking good. When they count down to John, and they're all the like the girls that are in the center, all of a sudden they're like, when it goes live, I love how every fucking person in that room freezes and stares, like it's a
That's
silence.
Yeah.
Yes, and they're just like, holy, because everyone knows who John Wick is. Even they're just like,
Yeah,
the time stopped for everyone in that fucking room, and it's like a, it's not like a crazy scene, but like if you're like really into the movie, that scene is just fucking so
Yeah.
good.
no,
Even
it's
the doctor, he's like,
Yeah,
like,
that whole thing's chill.
I'll just keep doing it. He's like, no, I'll do it myself. And then he hands him the gun. He's like, they'll never believe I stopped on time.
yes.
He's like, right up
Yeah.
the collarbone.
And then
So-
he was right. He's like, yeah, I told you where the medicine was, which was after. The
Yes.
film went.
Yeah.
So any last thoughts on 2 before we just keep going with 3?
2 and 3 go right into each other, so
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
works
it's-
fine.
yeah.
So that scene with the doctor is one of my favorite scenes in 3 because, like you said, there's the whole tension of the clock, the first beginning of the movie where like everyone's looking at the clock, keeps showing the clock, the lady keeps announcing 5 minutes until John Wick whatever. When the doctor's like stitching him up, he's like, I don't have time. He's like, no, just keep going, and it stops. After he tells him where the medicine is, and the way that the scene is constructed, the doctor has the gun pulled on John, and the whole time in my head I'm like, no, I don't want John to kill you. Like, you're such a cool character. Like, please don't, like, I don't want this to be how this happens. Because I thought he was going to be like, time's up. I want the bounty. I'm going to shoot you. But that's not what it was. It was what Dom said. Like, they're never going to believe me. Like, you need to shoot me. All right, you're going to shoot me a second time. They're never going to believe you shot me once. Because that's what Dom said. He always shoots twice.
He always
Oh,
shoots someone.
shit.
Shoot him. Where did he shoot him? In the stomach,
Stomach
and
and
the
the
collarbone.
Yeah. Wow. Fucking Dom
Except
over
for
there.
Santoni. Santoni got popped right in the noggin. Just
Yeah,
one
but I
time.
want to say that he shot him in the leg earlier, didn't he?
He might have.
I don't think he ever
I
got
don't
the.
know.
I don't think he ever got the chance. Speaking of which, now I'm thinking about it because of how often sci-fi kept playing too. Plus, I rewatched it. I feel like I watched John Wick fight Ruby Rose like
A
5
lot.
times.
I will say that's one of the better set pieces in the movie, I think. That whole like mirror
can't stand
area.
Ruby Rose.
Reflections
I don't
of
know
the soul.
I don't know why Ruby Rose bothers me so much. Like I just
Oh,
like
I don't
can't.
know.
She's not a great actress.
I don't have
No,
an
I
opinion.
think that's what it is. I
She's
think
good.
that's
She's
really-
good. She's good at action. She's just not a great actress.
Yeah.
I still need to watch her Batwoman.
I don't care about DC.
Yeah.
Only one season, so.
One season.
But what follows, I believe it's what directly follows that scene, the doctor scene, is him going into, is it a pawn shop where he builds the gun? Is that a pawn shop?
I think it's a thrift store.
Okay.
Like a flea market.
Okay. So he goes in
Oh, we
there,
didn't even talk about his fight in the library.
go ahead. I mean, I
Oh,
don't
that's
care
so
for it, but
good.
go for it.
It's so good. Oh man, it's so good.
It's a great thing when he was like, it's like the guy shows up and he's talking.
What's his
about
name?
the
Is it
book
Ernest?
and
What's his name?
His name is Ernest. Yeah. He's like, Ernest? It's like, I still got time. It's not a lot left. Who's
Who's going
know.
to check? Yeah.
No, they'll never. Yeah.
It's a lot of money. I
Um,
can't spend it.
Yeah.
Wait, before we go any further, John Wick 3 opens May 17th, 2019. A budget of $75 million. What do we think it did box office?
I mean, if it's
220.
going up,
220. Let's go. 220. Here we go.
that's a good number. I'm gonna go with 200.
I was gonna say 200 as well, actually.
I'm gonna go
All right.
221, Bob.
Everybody, nobody's believing in the power of John Wick. Sitting at
I mean,
a
we
little,
jumped- The last movie was 171, so
uh,
we're up at least 30 million from there.
sitting at a cool just over 326 mil. John
Wow.
Wick doing numbers,
Wow.
baby.
Wow.
That's why I got 4 and 5.
John Wick 4 by John Wick 5, I think you'll probably see maybe the 5th movie crack into like a like, you know, top franchise numbers for like compared to other things out there. I think it's doing pretty well.
And what they did with this last one, like, I feel like this is the longest gap between like movies, maybe.
It was supposed to be last year.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
it's probably good.
Oh,
for
was it already
franchise,
filmed?
but-
It's already like done. It just hasn't been released. Oh,
No. It was supposed to it was supposed to film like while everything was going on. but it's been put off until now, I think.
Okay.
I think the current date is 2022, but I don't think they've even started filming anything, so.
Interesting. Well, he probably wouldn't be available anyway. Isn't he currently filming The Matrix?
I think they're done
That's
filming that.
coming out.
Yeah, I think they've wrapped on filming that.
Yeah, I think he's filming Silver Surfer right now. No, I just wanted to be Silver Surfer.
Isn't the rumor that he's going to be in Moon Knight? Not play Moon Knight, but isn't he going to be in Moon Knight?
I don't think so, because now it's Ethan Hawke.
Interesting. Moon Knight is being played by Oscar Isaac, right?
Oscar Isaac, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, John Wick 3 doing those big boy numbers, doing real well. So we get to that scene in the thrift store, pawn shop, whatever it may be, builds the gun, pops the dude as soon as the door opens. Fucking great shot. The fight scene that ensues, parts of it, not a fan of. Parts of it that I loved. I fucking loved how it was like when they realized what they were in and they just started like breaking the cases behind them and just using random shit to fight. I was like, this is fantastic. Like, this is just great. Like, it's just like great environmental like use, like great environmental storytelling. Like, a lot of the fight scenes in these movies can just, if they wanted to be, just be cool choreography and just be in fun settings that like are eye-catching, whatever. And it's like they do a good enough job, maybe not all the time, but they utilize the environments outside of just being a set dressing, which I appreciate. And you know, other action movies do that. I feel like, you know, I don't know about Bruce Lee because I don't really watch Bruce Lee movies, but I know like Jackie Chan movies, like he's using fucking like everything in the room to kill people, like using a fucking phone book, throwing a potted plant at somebody's face, like he's doing all types of shit like that. So I feel like this kind of like it channels that same type of environmental awareness to use in your fights, which I appreciate. Is this also the eyeball scene?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the final kill in this scene, I think.
Well,
No,
the final kill is the axe.
Oh, that's yes. Which another very gruesome, didn't need to be there.
So good.
Which I guess as the films go on, the violence gets exponentially more grotesque and more gruesome and over the top. And I think that is just building on. Oh, go ahead.
That scene in particular was very gratuitous. There was very little reason to have so many knives thrown into like I understand like you're using the environment, but then you're stabbing people in the eyeballs. You throw an axe through somebody's fucking skull.
Yo,
that
scene
you just started getting very gratuitous.
Like,
yeah,
it's so good. I love it though. I love that he just it's like he has like shurikens or whatever. He's just like
it's just like
yeah. It's very good, but like yeah, there are points where it gets a little over the top. But I think it kind of builds with like the arc of the movies where it's like he is getting more and more fed up and like more and more at this point like legitimately fighting and fending for his survival. Where it not necessarily the same in John Wick 1. And I mean, yeah, a lot of this movie is like everyone just trying to kill him. Like that's just a lot of
pretty much it. Yeah.
That. I'm trying to think where the movie really starts to break up and to have more other scenes.
Probably when she goes to the sushi spot. I mean, I feel like that's like the
I feel like a lot of the downtime between fight scenes is the adjudicator visiting people that have dealt with John.
She's pretty much
John goes to Sophia.
Yeah.
And he also goes to the ballet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget that character's name. You said that was Angelica Houston.
Angelica Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he spent some time there. You get a little bit more of John's backstory. You get a little bit more of, sort of outside of New York world building where there's Casablanca. There's these other things going on. There are other, quote unquote continentals out there. This is obviously.
We find out John's a Russian orphan.
That's true. Yeah. I think he says he's from Belarus.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, we find a lot more about John's backstory. This is clearly it's a scenario where like again taking that like slight bit of realism that most action movies don't necessarily have, but it's like when he's at the doctor, he's like, I take those pills it'll kind of stop the pain and it'll give you a little bit of energy, because like, yeah, this dude is running for his fucking life nonstop for seemingly at this point like a 36-hour chain of events. Like he's just constantly fighting and running. So kind of just like, yeah, he's beat up, he's worn down, he's like going back to the first movie, because they were doing this even back then. He had that wound in his stomach, and Miss Perkins knows that, and she at one point is just punching him in that in that direct spot, because like, hey, we're gonna add a little extra detail to this fight where that is gonna like really fuck this person up because they have a wound. It's just little things like that stick out.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And this is there's only one thing that I'm like, even though John Wick kills like 1,000 people, there's only one thing that bothered me out of all of these movies, and it's in John Wick 2, and it's when him and Carmen are rolling down the largest flight of stairs, and then they get like those.
They got their Jason Derulo scene.
Yeah, they're just dead. Those dudes are fucking dead going down those amount. Halfway down the stairs, those fucking dudes are dead. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know about Common, but in that scene, John Wick's wearing that bulletproof suit, so maybe it's a little extra, that Kevlar or whatever is helping him out.
His head's probably not doing too well after that shit, though.
Yeah, like, no, those fucking stone stairs are definitely fucking you up, rolling down fucking 17 fucking flights. Yeah, so I mean, you get a lot of this, the more like kind of plot building and story building through the adjudicator, who is going to see Winston, going to see the Bowery King, going to see Angelica Houston's character, and basically saying like, hey, John Wick was here, you didn't stop him. John Wick was here, you didn't kill him. John Wick was here, you gave him a gun, like you gave him a way out.
No matter what you do.
Yeah.
That's why I like what they did with Angelica Houston's character, which was like he had a marker. It's like, what am I supposed to fucking do? Like what else could?
Yeah. Yeah, hers was a scenario where that saved her a little bit, because they just stabbed her through her hands, so she seemingly will live from that. I thought that they killed Lawrence Fishburne's character, and I thought that they probably did it in that way on purpose to make it seem like they killed him. Because they were like, 7. What was it? You gave him 7 bullets, we'll give you 7 slashes. Which again, like little stupid choices, but like I like that like attention to detail. It's like
it's almost biblical with some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Eye for an eye.
Yep. Common, I think, says eye for an eye.
Says that,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all like some of like the punishment stuff, and they make it almost like biblical.
Yeah. I mean, that's I think a big part of what 4 is going to be. I think 4 will probably be, I guarantee chapter 4 is going to focus on like more about the high table, and like we're going to learn more about the organization itself. I don't know if that will also bleed into 5. Like maybe 5 will be the collapse of the high table. It seems like there's going to be a power change like by 5.
5 will probably be John going after the high table. I imagine 4 will have something to do with John and Winston.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense too. Yeah. Which, I mean, spoiler alert, sure. End of the movie. Fuck man, I hate Winston. I love and hate Winston and John's relationship, because like I fucking knew it was coming. Like I knew it was gonna happen. He was gonna like cross him again on the roof. Because at the end of the day, all Winston cares about is him being in power. And when that happened, I was like, I know they're making more movies, so like I know John's not dead, but like, the fuck, like how's he getting out of this scenario?
Can we just talk about the motorcycle scene though, because that's one of my favorite scenes. Like not the first one, but the second one with the
on the bridge.
The Yakuza guys.
Yeah, oh my god, that scene is so good, and like there's like one scene where he like there's so many good scenes, but when he puts his knife, like the katana directly into the fucking bike's wheel,
and they like bang into each other and flip.
Oh, it's so good. There's so that whole choreography on that whole scene is amazing.
Yeah, the fights definitely. I honestly think that 2 has some of the worst fights and some of the worst choreography. I think 1 and 3 have the better fights. I just think overall 1 and 3 are much better films than 2. But
it's funny because I don't think I enjoyed 3 as much when I saw it in the theaters, and then every time I rewatch it, I'm like, oh wait, this movie's way better than I gave it credit for.
The only thing that I dislike really the most about 3 is that it's probably the most action heavy, and that's like the thing I care the least about. Whereas like some of the fight scenes trickle throughout, like the one we talked about at the beginning, and then a few other ones are good, but like then when we get to fucking Sharon, and like when Sharon gets to finally like pick up a gun and like he's now out there with John, I'm like, oh fuck yes, like I'm so happy with his arc as a character, where it's like seemingly he's just the concierge, like he's just like he works right under Winston, like he does whatever Winston says, but like you don't see him doing much like at all, and all of a sudden he's out there fucking blowing people's faces off with a shotgun. It's like, okay, cool, like he deserves this. I'm so happy he's getting this. And I was very stressed that he was going to die in the movie, and I was like so stressed about that.
I thought he was gonna die the whole time too. But I love like like when they first go out there and they're just like, John's trying to figure out how to kill these guys, and he's like just kind of shooting them in like joints basically, and like trying to get up as close as possible.
He like pulls all of their heads forward and shoots them in the back.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. This is just the attention to detail that like we've been talking about. I think this is one. Yes.
I was gonna say the same thing.
It's the third one.
Is it the third one? Okay.
Yeah.
He swims further enough away.
The guy has the helmet on still.
Yes, it's the third one. It is the third one. Yes.
It's the third one.
Yeah. So he knows though. He swims back. How far the trajectory of the bullet is going to be.
And he puts his hand right up against the glass of the faceplate and shoots.
Yes.
So fucking good. Like
you can see everything come out the back, and then he pulls the head up and does it again.
Yes.
And when they shoot at him, you watch the bullet and it drops like right before, and you watch the bullet drop in the water. Like it's so crazy.
It's so good. So I have I just as like references, I have like the character stuff, whatever, on up for each movie as we're going through it, and it's just funny because I'm just realizing that for Jason Mantzoukas, I don't know if it's what it says in the credits, but on this list, he's listed as TikTok Man, and that's just so funny to me that that's his name.
He's listed on the posters.
It's the character's name. He's the TikTok Man.
That's incredible.
TikTok, Mr. Wick. I just want to quickly bring up. I remember when I saw this movie in theaters, and John gets into the stable. I'm like, dude, it'd be crazy if he used a horse to kill somebody, and he does it for like 3 different people.
Yeah.
He does like the slap on the ass, right?
So yeah, a lot of nonsensical stuff, a lot of whatever. I was I liked Halle Berry's character. I liked when she said sit and the dog sat, and she's like, I'm talking to you.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah, like that was a great scene.
I feel like she could easily have a spin-off movie.
Yeah.
It feels like they gave us a lot of background for her character that didn't really get used.
I feel like she's gonna be at the bare minimum. Maybe she'll take over Casablanca, and she'll be like the Winston of that place, and that'll be a safe haven for John.
I thought she already was.
Yeah, I thought she did.
Oh, I thought the guy the elder or whatever, I thought the guy that they shot was the guy in charge.
I think she used to be like the Sharon, and that guy was the Winston, and then when he left, she got promoted to be in charge.
Oh, okay.
And that's why he needed her, and she's like, listen, don't fuck this up.
Gotcha. Okay, then yeah, I definitely think that she'll just probably, unless the adjudicator goes to her, which could also be a thing, they could go to her and be like, you helped John get away or something. But I think she'll probably show back up unless she just doesn't want to do the movies. But I mean, what else is Halle Berry doing? She probably doesn't need to do anything, but is she in movies anymore? I don't really.
I don't really follow her. Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, there was a point in time where she was like one of the main people. Like she was like headlining many movies.
Yeah, I think there's like a not like a sad. I think it's just like a case of like Hollywood like just screwing somebody over.
Gotcha.
No, she's in that weird age group, because I want to say she's like 52 or 53. She's in that weird age group where she's like not that super young person anymore, but she's not old, so she's like, I feel like a lot of people get lost in that age group where they don't know where to transition their career. And I feel like that's where she is right now. But she still looks amazing for fucking 53.
Yeah, she does not look like she's 52. She looks very, very like well for herself.
I was gonna
bring up real quick, because it's off of Todd's point of her being in that middle group. Selma Hayek recently did an interview about Marvel coming to her, and they were like, "Yeah, Marvel reached out to me, and I just thought that they wanted me to be like some grandmother." And she's like a main character in a movie.
I don't know how old. Sorry. I just want to also riff off that same point. I don't know how old Marissa Tomei is. She must be older than
He's the same as probably it's probably the same age as Halle Berry.
Yeah, I was gonna say 50s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, like, you know, Aunt May's like not the same as like playing a superhero. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Marissa Tomei is 56. She's
Uh,
almost 60.
Who was Aunt May in Amazing Spider-Man?
I
I
know
don't know, somebody a little bit older.
only
No,
Andrew.
she's way older.
I only know Andrew Garfield. I don't know anything else about those movies. Is Emma
No,
Stone?
just a little bit older because the thing with the Spider-Man, so the Spider-Man Peter keeps getting younger and
Younger?
Aunt May keeps getting
Also younger.
also younger. Yeah.
And Uncle Ben just keeps dying.
No, he didn't die this time.
Is he just not there?
They
Not
never
there.
showed him.
Yeah. So he's more than dead. He's just
We
not there.
Didn't see him dead. Yeah.
Wait,
go ahead, Mike,
is
sorry.
is Emma Stone in Amazing Spider-Man?
There
Yes.
are rumors.
No,
Oh,
she's
yeah,
Andrew
no,
Garfield's.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Sally
Sally
Field is
Fields.
Aunt May.
Sally Fields.
There we go. So all I was gonna say was going back to Halle Berry as the proprietor of this particular establishment is when John is like fighting his way to get there, and someone like stops like, "Hey, listen, the management wants him. Like, leave him alone." And one of the guys is just like, he's still holding the knife. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this.
turns
And
around
another
and
guy
shoots him.
shoots him.
Oh, that's a good
So,
scene too.
You know, some people are just true to their word.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Halle Berry's character shows up again in some way, whether it's again adjudicator dealing with some nonsense or whatever. Because I don't think that specific adjudicator. I don't know the actress. Asia Kate Dillon. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But I mean, she closed the loop with those three people, with Winston, with Lawrence Fishburne's character, and with Angelica Houston's character. Like, she still hasn't closed the loop on whatever John Wick is up to, and we haven't seen her address Halle Berry. Maybe that's a different adjudicator for like different parts of the world. Maybe it's not always the same person. But yeah, I think that.
Is anyone else surprised that the adjudicator made it to the end of the movie alive?
Right. Yeah.
I figured somebody would just be like, I'm not putting up with this, but I guess no one wanted to deal with those particular consequences.
I think I'm not surprised, only because the adjudicator calls the parlay. If the fighting kept going, I think it would have just escalated that way, and I think she knew that, and that's why she called the parlay. But like, I am surprised, but I'm also not surprised that like the movie ends with Winston turning on John again.
Well, quote unquote turning.
I really want to believe that this was a bigger play, like because I mean, granted, you know, Winston does seem to really want to hold on to his spot where it is, but I feel like he more than anyone knows, like, you know, fucking with John Wick is typically just bad news for everyone else.
So, big brain play here. You think that?
I hope. Not that I think.
Well,
like, I hope.
well.
I
So
don't-
here, let's paint this picture to make it work. You think that when Winston and the Bowery King, he's like, hey, when your pigeons fly off the roof, scoop up John. He'll be in the alley. And then, like, if Winston, so this is for John Wick 4, Winston has the contract out for John, seemingly doing what the high table wants, but grants John like secret safety, like underneath the Continental.
Something like that. Like, I would say that part of his play was, look, I did try to kill him. If he got away, but I did my job. I shot him. He fell off the roof. You saw it. If his body's not there anymore, I don't know. And I'm hoping that he just knew that either, you know, he was shooting him wearing a tactical suit so like the bullets weren't actually going to pierce his skin.
He also shot him in a place that he would fall and hit like several things on his way down to the street.
Which, again, to go off Todd's point, I mean, I guess, I don't know, Todd also fell off a fucking fire fucking thing and didn't fucking die, so...
I mean, I did fall 40 feet and didn't break a bone.
Yeah. So. Todd fell off a fire escape and didn't break a bone. So if Todd's not built like John Wick, and I don't know, but John Wick's also pretty fucking fucked up at the end of that movie, so who knows?
Yeah, right.
I will say, so maybe Winston does have a different play here, but I also don't think that the Bowery King is on board with that, because the Bowery King seems legitimately pissed for a lot of fucking reasons and wants revenge.
Yeah. But I mean, I think both of them still, actually all three of them would have beef with the High Table.
High Table, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, who does Winston say he's pissed at?
I
mean, who does the Bowery King say?
High Table. Yeah. High Table. But if he finds out sort of what the other things at play are, there could be some room for whatever. I mean, I guess we don't really know how the Bowery King and Winston interact in any sort of capacity. Maybe they have a history. We have no idea. I don't think that's ever explained in the movies.
I don't think it's ever explained, except that the Bowery and the Continental are linked. Like when John becomes excommunicado, the Bowery says, "Yeah, we want no part of that." Like he's excommunicado here too. So they're not like directly linked like John Leguizamo, but they're linked enough that like when they found out, they wanted no peace.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what we could expect for 4, but to wrap things up on 3, what else does anyone wanna say?
Like I said before, I really enjoyed the character Zero. He was just an odd little like John Wick fanboy who's like just super jazzed.
His whole crew is John Wick.
Yeah.
That's why
Yes,
so good.
their fight scene when the two of them have the upper hand and they like probably could have killed John if they wanted to in that first moment. They help him up. Yeah, it's just the first time.
No, there's like two other times where like
they reach it a couple of times, but then like John would get up and just like, "Hey, listen, I got this."
He takes his belt off. Once he takes his belt off, the fight is no holds barred.
Right.
I mean,
he lets them live too, because they let him live probably.
Yes. Many times, exactly. And that's why, again, I think like John, I think for certain hitmen or assassins, whatever they're called, what are they? Are they hitmen or assassins? What are the?
I think they're Templars. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I mean,
Todd's talking about Assassin's Creed. I think. What Todd's talking about?
The guy that that Halle Berry's character worked for, Sophia worked for. He's like, do you know why they're called assassins? So I'm assuming that assassin is probably
okay.
But I would say that they're all interchangeable because
sort of the same thing.
The same thing, like hey,
well, hitman. I guess they're taking contracts, so they're hitmen too. I guess. Yeah. So I think he has a mutual respect for certain ones. He did not have respect seemingly for like the ultra fanboy, the one that sat next to him on the couch, because he straight up fucking stabbed him in the chest and was like, "Nah, I'm good. Like, I'll be seeing you, or no, like I'll catch up to you. No, you won't." And then he dies.
No, you won't. Yeah.
He did invade his personal space. That was
absolutely.
I did like how he like got up with the sword still through him.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It was like still trying to talk to him. That scene, like that like sequence of scenes where he was like fighting his way to Zero, and Zero was like watching from like above. That seemed very like Bruce Lee-esque, where it was like he was like fighting a tower of people like on his way to the boss.
And on glass too, like glass rooms and everything. Yeah,
it was very video gamey, like. Also, like, and I love it for that. Like, it's the right type of absurdity. I do want to then.
I love the back throw through the fucking glass floor.
Yes, that's so good, so good. I didn't know that Keanu did a lot of his own stunts in this movie. That makes me appreciate the fight scenes even more.
So you know why they made I'm assuming these guys wanted to make another franchise with Keanu, because have you heard the stuff about like the Matrix and what Keanu did with like the stunt crew?
Nope.
He he gave like I want to say it was 75 million of what he made on that movie, if not more, and he gave all that money to the stunt crew. He didn't even want it. He bought all the stunt crew motorcycles so they could hang out after the Matrix was done filming. There's this whole thing that he did for all these guys. So he's like, these are like tight knit people. Like they're all boys and everything. It's pretty cool. Like, dude, Keanu Reeves is just like good guy Keanu Reeves at this point. Like, you know, like
he's great.
Like,
he's great in that Netflix fucking comedy with what's his face, Jimmy Woo. I forget his fucking name.
So good.
What's Jimmy Woo's name? I can't fucking remember his name.
I can't remember.
Randall Park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That movie is okay. It's not like amazing, but fucking Keanu is so fucking good at that movie. It's so amazing. But yeah, I do want to call back to one quick thing from one of the final fight scenes where he's fighting Vigor or whatever. When Vigor is trying to stab John, and John realizes the only way out of the fight is to push the knife into himself and then grab the knife and stab him. Like, that's just a cool fight choreography. That's like a cool scene. I liked it a lot. And again, like very video gamey, like very Yakuza.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that's. Go ahead.
I was gonna say is I'm super critical of that shit too. I'm like, one of the main things, like, I usually enjoy action movies that do stuff that I haven't really seen before at this point. It's kind of like, am I seeing the same, like, oh, they're shooting over behind cover kind of stuff? Yay, okay, I've seen this a million times. Like, that's why I think I enjoy these movies so much, because I'm always like, whoa, that action scene was pretty fucking crazy. You know, like, every movie I'm walking out and I'm like, there was some crazy shit in that movie where, you know, you see some of these typical action movies and it's like, you know, same shit you've seen before. Nothing really that crazy.
Yeah. All I was gonna say was I really like the handful of times, and I think it was only in 3, where like he would do the thing where he's trying to stab somebody and they're trying to stop him. So like he'll slam like the hilt or the butt of like the sword, and a couple times it doesn't work when they're standing up. So he has to like force him on the ground so that way he can really get momentum and like slam it down.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was
when
cool.
he puts it into the guy's head and he's like hitting it again, like, you know, like he's like getting it through the skull.
Yeah,
so good.
Certain things like that I feel like happen a few times where it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Good movie. I don't think I have anything else to say about the third movie specifically. I don't know if anyone else does.
So you enjoyed it? You enjoyed all of them for the most part, the franchise?
Todd, I fucking parted my hair down the middle today for this podcast. I texted Mike last night, I think, and I was like, I mean, I could probably pull off just get a fucking black suit and just pull off a fucking easy John Wick costume now.
Gonna have to straighten your hair out.
Jen said she'd do it. She's like, I can do that for you in a day. Take a problem.
Wait, who's next? Whose pick is next? Is it
Dom.
me, or is it
It's Dom.
Dom? Okay.
I hope you guys enjoyed John Wick.
Oh no!
Wait,
no!
what was? Oh, so I'm October. Fuck! I feel like I have to pick like an October movie.
No, you don't have to. Don't feel obligated to.
We watching The Witch, boys? We watching The Witch?
No, don't think it. I mean, do whatever you want. I don't fucking care. Do you know your pick, Dom? You want to reveal this now, or you want to wait till next week?
I mean, I guess.
What?
I guess I can pick.
All right. Before you reveal that information, as a whole, anyone else want to say anything about John Wick before we call it?
No.
Okay. Todd?
Nope. I just love the franchise.
Are you surprised that I liked it?
No, I always thought you'd like it.
Yeah, we thought you would like it.
Yeah.
Because it's like just very well done.
Wait, you're surprised, Mike?
I'm surprised.
Why are you surprised? Just because I don't like these types of movies?
Pretty much.
Actually, let me think about this right now. Now that we're thinking about the movies we've watched, it's tough because we watched 3 movies instead of just 1 movie. I guess if we picked just John Wick 1, I probably would have. I think I still like John Wick 1 the most, as a whole. Like John Wick 1, for lack of a better way to kind of say it, it's like a good. It's like the Fellowship of the Ring, where it's like it is a good contained story. If they never made another John Wick movie, the ending still might not be great, but the rest of the movie's good. And then it having more, it just it makes it better, obviously. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I'm happy that we finally watched these, or I finally watched them, and it's definitely up there for front runner for potentially the best thing that we've watched in this PTC Movie Club, for me personally at least. I don't know what would be second. I think maybe The Nice Guys. I did like that movie, I feel like. I kind of liked Sorry to Bother You too. Black Dynamite was good, but that's, yeah, I mean, it's Black Dynamite.
So pissed I missed that whole one because I still can't get over fucking when they go up to the room and the guy's sitting on the couch.
You want us to put you out of your misery.
they zoom in on that too many times,
Yeah,
like
so
like
funny.
too many
That's so
times.
good, though.
Like, I get the
So
joke.
good.
I get the joke. I'm fine with looking at a penis. I don't like the joke is
my
way
God.
overdone. Like, I don't need to see the joke anymore. That being said, though, are you ready to reveal September's PTC Movie Club pick?
I think I'm ready.
Ooh.
All right, so we're gonna do a film where Christopher Walken is the villain.
Yes, we doing Batman too.
Are we doing Hairspray?
We've got a main cast that features Haley Joel Osment, Diedrich Baker. We've got cameos from Wyclef and Exhibit and Willie Nelson and Sir Elton John.
Is this a Disney movie?
We are doing Disney's The Country Bears.
Ooh.
Wait, they actually made that a movie?
They did.
Is this
What year was it?
is this on Disney Plus?
2002, I believe. Yes, it is on Disney Plus. I did double check that.
I don't want that transaction history on my
Fine.
debit
Yo,
card if I had to
I-
buy
I
that movie.
remember that poster and it's frightening.
I hope you boys liked Blues Brothers.
I've never seen Blues Brothers.
Or Blues Brothers 2000.
Blues Brothers. It's the story of the blues. You might be right. It might be Blues Brothers 2000.
I've never seen
How do they,
Blues Brothers.
half of these actors in this movie too? It's like Diedrich Bader, the dude from what's it call it? Drew Carey.
Listen, sometimes you just want those Disney bucks. You just want to cash that Disney check.
Queen
In the
Latifah.
2002.
I need to see what the trailer looks like because this movie looks absolutely ridiculous. What was the box office on this one? That's what I want to know.
Well, save that for the night. Don't do that now. Don't look at that now. Don't cheat. So yeah, I mean, there we go. We got The Country Bears. Are there more
I feel
than
like
are there other movies with this title, or is it just The Country Bears? Like, do we need to put like Country Bears 2001?
No. I think it's just Disney's Country Bears. I don't.
Okay. So there we have it.
I
That's
have to pick a horror movie for October. I feel like I have to, right?
yeah, we're not watching Gummo. Stop this.
Well, I mean, that's kind of. I mean,
No, we're not. We're definitely not watching that. I mean,
don't
Todd, if
know.
you were gonna ever pick Hereditary,
don't
I mean,
know.
not Hereditary. If you're gonna pick fucking Somerset, Midsummer, this is your chance.
Somerset Mom.
Midsummer is like Oktoberfest though, right? Oh no, not Oktoberfest though.
No, yeah,
It's spring solstice, right?
If I was gonna pick a horror movie for that, I'd probably pick a safe bet for you that you probably like in the Ready or Not for when she gets married, and like the family wants her to go.
Hide and seek.
Oh, I didn't see
Yeah.
that one yet. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's a really good movie, and it's funny. It's not like really like it's not a horror movie. It's
Listen, you
basically
want to
just,
pick
like,
a good horror movie? Pick something that I'll enjoy, like fucking the Taika
think
one
you'd
or
enjoy
something.
Ready
The
or Not.
Taika
I think-
Waititi
I think-
movie.
what's
Cabin
that?
in the Woods. What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh,
What We Do in the Shadows
That's
is
a
not-
straight
yeah,
comedy.
it's not a
It's like
horror
straight
movie.
comedy. Yeah, it's just vampires. It's comedy vampires. Yeah,
It's a horror movie to me.
Shreking us into thinking it's a horror movie.
Yeah. So there we go. We got it. I'm happy we did John Wick. This means that when John Wick 4 does come out, we're gonna have to do a John Wick 4 spoiler
There you
cast.
go. Perfect. Perfect.
And then a few people were very excited that I was watching John Wick and that we were going to do it. So I think we'll have probably a couple of people that will want to come on for like a John Wick 4 proper spoiler cast. Because there were a few people that were pretty pumped up about this. I was going to download the John Wick Hex video game. I believe the story is canon. It's a prequel, I'm pretty sure. Or
Oh, is it?
But
Is it on Xbox yet?
yes, it's on everything now. So it's on Switch, on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. But I don't know if the game has been updated in any way, but the review that I that I read earlier today. I just wanted to see what the game was about because I didn't really know anything about it. So the game was kind of not great, but it does have some interesting story bits. It has the actor that plays Winston in it voicing, and it has Lance Reddick in it as well. Keanu does not voice John Wick though. It's Troy Baker, I believe.
Ugh, gross.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's something out there. I might check that out just to kind of get a little more John Wick in me. Are there like other John Wick things? Like, are there now John Wick comics that like expand the universe or no?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure. I know that we're getting the next 2 movies where they're like signed on to do 4 and 5, and then we're getting a Continental TV show, which apparently is supposed to be young Winston.
Interesting. Yeah, I could. I mean, if it's good, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Put it on HBO.
I don't know who it's Lionsgate. I don't know who owns Lionsgate. Do they put any of their movies in? Well, it's on Peacock.
The movies
so.
were all the movies were all on Peacock.
So maybe that would be on Peacock then. Oh, that would make sense. Is Peacock trying to do like its own shows too? So then, yeah, that's probably where we'll be.
Reboot of The Office.
They're rebooting The Office? Did I know that? Oh no. Why would you reboot The Office? That seems like a horrible thing to reboot.
Because it's money.
But that's like I feel like it's too easy to fuck that up.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's free money.
I don't know if it would be free money.
Oh shit! That's what I should have done.
I mean, you still can. The episode is still running. You can still change this.
You locked it in.
No, we already locked in Country Bears.
We didn't lock anything in. Nothing's been tweeted. Nothing's been written down. I haven't done anything yet.
Mike, do I switch it?
I don't care.
I think you should. Wait, is free real estate? Is this losers, or whatever?
No.
What is it?
Wait, what?
What's free real estate?
I want now. I just want my pick to be just Brenden like randomly picking 4 movies that he thinks we're referencing.
What movie is it? What movie is it?
That quote's not even from a movie. It's from a TV show.
It says Tim and Eric.
Oh, Tim and Eric is free real estate. Yeah. So then, what movie are you referencing?
They have a movie.
Oh, it's Tim and Eric's movie. I've seen it.
Tim and Eric $1 billion.
I think we've all seen it. I mean, I'll still watch it again.
Everybody else seen it?
I mean, I will do an episode about that show. I'm fine with that.
No, I'm a huge Tim and Eric fan, so all day long.
Cool. All right. Well, there you go. You got your next movie. You can start a few days early because it's not even September yet. Congratulations. But yeah, that was John Wick Spoilercast Trilogy, and we'll be back next week with your regularly scheduled program. As always, you can find everything we do at passcontroller.io, on Twitter and on Instagram at passcontroller, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you're a friend of the show, fan of the show, want to help support the show, you can do that in a few different ways. You can go to passcontroller.threadless.com and becoming someone who buys our merchandise. You can go to patreon.com/passcontroller, become a patron. You can subscribe to us on Twitch. You can share us on social media, subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. All those things help support us in different ways. So if you have money, if you have time, if you have some good words to spare, all of those things are very beneficial to us. If you want to keep the conversation up with us and our community, you can join our Discord. You can follow me at BigRoom. You can follow Mike at _Mycopath. You can follow Todd at Toddy_by_nature. And you can find Dom at PTC _OneLittleSpark. And thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode 274, I believe. 274 of the Pass Controller Podcast. Until next time.